What is up, everybody? Welcome to Knife Hands here on Vets Talking, where we haven't done on. I gotta do it every time. We haven't done Knife Hands in a while. It's been a hot minute. The topic I was looking at, I always save templates of all the shows that we do. So every time I do a new show, it's got the template from the previous show. Joe Biden was still in the race last time we did a Knife Hands. So I think we were talking specifically about the debate was the last time we did one of these. So we got a lot to cover today, man. There's a lot of topics I opted just not even to cover because there's so many other big topics going on. But Drew, what do you think, man? How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. Got some medical stuff going on, some relapses in nerve things, nerve pain, damage, and affects the rest of the body, especially fatigue wise. So I'm just kind of hunkering down, trying to do the best I can, but getting good treatment and just kind of managing energy, time and energy.
Yeah,
it's a daily fight, tug of war.
Yeah, after spending nearly a week with you up in Minneapolis, I saw firsthand what the real struggle is for you, dude. And I feel for you, man. I know, like, you had just one day out there in the hot sun. Wasn't even that hot in fucking Wisconsin, but just one single day out there roaming around, and then you were out of commission for the whole rest of the fucking week because you got a heat stroke.
Yep. Yeah, it tends to happen in the summer. I never know what kind of I'm going to walk into each day, but
yeah,
I've developed some good tactics kind of over the years. It's been, I think, 3 summers now that I've been with this illness. So, but figuring it out, like I was telling you, adapting and overcoming.
That's right. That's what we do in the military. And for those of you who don't know, I'm pretty sure the audience here does already know. Yeah, our buddy Drew here was chemically injured by a certain jibby jab he was forced to take while in the military, and actually has documented proof to prove it. They even admit it. So I still can't openly say that here on YouTube because I'll still get in trouble for it, even though it's documented. It's true. He's in the condition he is because of that shit. So you can go suck a fucking dick, YouTube. I'm not gonna play the music right now yet. What's up, Wayne Rowe? How you doing, man? How do y'all knife hand salute? I know that 1, we haven't done the knife hands in a long time. 2, everyone's still used to us doing these shows at 10 o'clock Eastern. But 3, I also set this one up at the wrong fucking time. I realized like 15 minutes before going on that I set this show up for 8 o'clock Central Time instead of 8 o'clock Eastern, which would have been 7 o'clock Central for me. So I think there might be some people out there who are probably going to be rolling in late because I fucked up. Well, one of these days here, hopefully soon, we'll get back into that routine again. Everybody will know that we're doing everything now at 8 o'clock Eastern. That's our new time period for everything. Whenever we do a show that's Monday through Saturday, Sunday, whatever. We haven't done a Sunday show yet, but maybe we'll do something. Star Wars Dog, what's up, man? Hey, let me send you a link, dog. You want to hop in here? Former Marine, so I can't say former. Once a Marine, always a Marine. Let me know if you want me to send you a link, dude. Hop in here, dude. We got some heavy topics here we're going to talk about. I know do you have are you in touch with Star Wars Dog over there? Can you send him a link?
I don't know him.
Okay. I'll send him an invite right now.
Okay.
But I know also we've got I think we got Mozambique Boney's gonna be hopping here in a little bit. Reporting as ordered. Thank you very much. Don't ever call me sir, though. I don't go by that. Try Zulu time, then we'll all be messed up. No shit, dude. No shit. Zulu time is the one time that's supposed to be like universal. So you always do like a local time, and then Zulu time, which I think Zulu is like is England time or some shit like that. It's the 0. Every time beyond that, I think like in our direction it goes negative and the other side it goes positive, but Zulu time is the one that's right in the center, like around fucking England time period. Laszlo, the instigator, what's up, man? Let's send a link here real quick over to Star Wars Dog, see if he wants to pop in here.
Yeah, time zones are that thing. You just got to work with it. If you're not working with it, you forget what it is when you're talking to somebody in Eastern or Pacific. Or I remember in Arizona, they don't do daylight savings time. So half the year they're on Pacific, like California time, and half the year they're in Mountain time.
Yeah, it fucked me up when I was there because I was there in the summertime and then transitioned into the wintertime, and yeah, it was Like obviously it was nice for me because the time didn't change, but at the same time, I had to keep it in my mind the time was now different for everyone else.
Right.
So yeah, it's weird, dude. God, I hope they change that soon. It's
Yeah,
so
but if you get used to it, then not that, but just knowing, you work with it every day on live streams like this, or I've done account management and mostly the East Coast, so I just got so used to what I expect when I make a call to somebody at 8 a.m. my time. I know it's 9 there. You just get used to it over time.
for me, I just keep it. I don't really think much about the other times. I always just keep in because I'm Central Time and Eastern Time is just 1 hour ahead of me, so that's easy for me. And just to keep it simple because it is just the way that the majority of media does it. They give either just Eastern Time or they give Eastern and Pacific Time. Obviously, I don't need to get that complicated, so I always just give just Eastern Time and that's it. And so that's all I think about. I don't think about it. I always have to remember that there's a mountain time. I always think that West Coast, Pacific time is like 1 hour behind. And I always forget, no, there's one more time zone before that.
Right.
So you're right, though. Yeah, like you're saying, though, it's a matter you got to keep in mind. You got to keep on repetitively remembering and have that routine of remembering where, when and where everything is.
Yeah, here's a tip for you streamers out there or people that want to be. I heard some people get a screen and they have it where it's like all the different time zones, especially the ones that work with,
Oh, yeah.
UK, Australia, New Zealand guys. So yeah, I mean, do you remember doing that in like the Tactical Operations Center? They'd have like clocks for everywhere.
It was
they were
always
on the wall.
Yeah, it was also cheap, just the cheap, like, yeah, old elementary school clocks. Because, yeah, of course, they're going to get the cheapest shit possible. But yeah, there's always all the time zones up there.
Yeah, because shit could go down in some area and you want to know like what time it was. You want to get all the intelligence of that incident if it was in a different time zone than you, but it had an impact on your mission.
Absolutely. Pope, what's up, man? Greens. Homo. Gay. All right. So yeah, thank you everyone for being here again. Because the reason we're talking about time zones and everything is because I managed to fuck it up. It's already
turned into a learning process.
It's a learning moment. Yeah, and everyone's got to get back into the routine. And I changed all the timing from when we're going on from 10 o'clock Eastern. Now we're going on at 8 o'clock Eastern. I still fucked up and managed to put this on as 8 o'clock Central instead of 8 o'clock Eastern. So I'm just happy as hell that apparently everyone's got their notifications on and they know that we're live right now. So obviously, I guess YouTube isn't totally against me yet, although we have had plenty of reports that people have not been getting notifications. But speaking of somebody who's Central Time, Robin Banks, one of my friends here living at Lake of the Ozarks. What's up? Haven't seen you in a minute here, Robin. Happy to see you. Happy to have you here.
Hello.
And let's see. At some point soon, I'm going to go shooting with Scotty, our machine dummer, here at the lake on Sunday. I think we're going to go shooting. And I think I'll definitely have to record something. I got to get him to make a channel. We're definitely going to start doing gun content here. At some point, he's going to open up his own range. He's already doing classes to teach people some shooting tactics. And we're going to start recording some shit, put some shit up here on this channel, but also we're going to start his channel up and we're going to do like crossovers. So you can see stuff over here, but also we're going to build him up over there as well.
Awesome. I like that. Yeah. I would like to do the same for adaptive sports.
Oh yeah. Like wheelchair basketball and whatnot.
Yeah. It gets more than that, man. I've been doing rock climbing, golfing. So it looks all goofy and you got to change your swing or do different stuff with rock climbing. You got like this huge weight that's on the carabiner or on the cables or whatever as a counterbalance. And then not one, but two belayers to get my ass up a little bit because I don't have the strength, but I can, every pull from one to the next works out. And then I'm going to tie those to music, like good music, but ones that are out there that are for free. Eric July said he'll, just let his go and people can kind of use one of his songs. So
hell yeah,
I'm playing with that idea.
Yeah, it's amazing how much music, like the intro, that heavy metal intro that I put on here, that's free. I I've been limiting myself to looking up sound effects and music and whatnot to these other websites, but right here on YouTube has a huge catalog. You just put the dollar amount to zero and it's completely license free. And so I'm like, yeah, that intro when it goes to heavy metal was exactly what I was looking for. And I was sure I'd have to pay at least $5-10 to be able to use it. No, zero, free. So
yeah, things are changing. It's getting a lot easier to do channels, to do video, to do editing. So yeah, that's where I'm kind of spending my time right now.
Yeah. National Airborne Day tomorrow, y'all. Hell yeah. Salute to the airborne warriors from you your Uber USA, you from your Uber Air Force there. Hey, Air Force is the one giving us our rides, man. Appreciate the fuck out of you. But National Airborne Day, I always forget about that. My fucking airborne.
I didn't know that was the thing.
Yeah, dude, there's a fucking day for everything.
I suppose, yeah.
There's a day for everything. I have celebrated that one time. Yeah, one time I caught that like 5 years ago, and I remember I put on one of my fucking airborne hats. But yeah, dude, Bruce here is a fellow paratrooper. Airborne. Come on, man. Yeah, whip out that fucking that pride, that actual real pride, like in our airborne. I don't have one of my airborne hats here, but I do have my Veterans for Trump hat. I've got my USASOC patch on there though, special operations patch. I was gonna put my 173rd and USASOC on. I don't know where the fuck the 173rd pin went though. Fucking gone. Anyways, yeah, Airborne Day tomorrow.
That's awesome. Yeah, we'd work out with the 160th, in Savannah, Georgia, and the Airfield. They had a spot there with us. Yeah, Hunter Army Airfield was like mainly an Army one, but there was Coast Guard. I go way into it, but yeah, just a little bit from every branch. It seemed like really small posts, but kind of cool. You basically do PT around the whole thing.
Well, yeah, that was what it was like on Caserma, Italy, Camp Italy for us in Italy at Vicenza. It was the base was so small. If you wanted to do a full long run without going off post, you'd have to do multiple laps around the entire camp. Yeah,
we did that, and then also the rucksack march, or ruck marches. The minimum standard for every 3rd ID soldier was 12 miles, and so leading up to that, you had to you're doing your unit PT, you're doing 3 miles, 4 miles, 8 miles, 16 sometimes. And it was kind of cool. It was good training for other schools you're going to for PLDC or airborne, air assault, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And at least there, though, I mean, at least you can feel much more comfortable going off post. You know, I was in Italy. I got there very early on, just before 9/11 kicked off. So once 9/11 happened, you know, the security level jumped up. There's a good period of time where we could not go off post in uniform at all because of threat of terrorism or whatnot. And it took a while before event. Like if we were to go for a run, we would have to put on regular civilian gym clothes on if we were going to run off post. Which obviously wasn't complaint, but it's like, come on, you got like 5-6 guys all running in a straight line with high and tights. I'm pretty sure we're still standing out. But
that reminds me, we were not allowed to be out in public in uniform. They said only if you're leaving work and leaving post and you have to pick up like groceries or whatever. That's the only thing. Otherwise, you should not be anywhere in uniform. Go home, change, and then that was 2006. So yeah, it was still pretty heavy around that time.
It used to be when I first joined in 2000, we were still required as trainees to fly in our Class A's or travel in general in Class A's. I think there was quite a bit of times where you'd be required to do that. And then after 9/11, then it was do not travel in uniform at all under any circumstances. But yeah, I got pictures of I've got to plenty of times I was stupid little cherry private, not a single ribbon on me because we didn't have the National Defense Service ribbon yet. There's absolute fucking nothing. One around my Class A's.
3 when I went in or graduated basic. Yeah. I think we graduated basic and you get 3.
That was a trip when I learned that you automatically get that's right. I did have the Army Service ribbon because they did give us the Gay Pride Rainbow ribbon. That got enacted sometime, I think, in like the 80s, which is still stupid as fuck. That's the dumbest fucking ribbon ever. But obviously it's supposed to be pride. You're supposed to say, so I can say that. But yeah, you get Army Service ribbon, Global War on Terror Service Medal, and National Defense Service Medal. You have a whole fucking full row just when you graduate basic training.
Which I thought was cool because I'd watch movies like A Few Good Men, And then
Yeah.
Tom Cruise has like one. I think he had one.
I think he had the
I'm like,
National Defense Service Medal. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. He didn't have anything because he was just a brand new. I can't remember if he said he was ROTC. It was something like that where he's just like so quick out the gate. Like that was
Yeah.
his
Straight.
first.
Yeah. Straight out of his
He had never
training,
done
got his fucking
trial.
bars.
All of his
And,
cases went to settled out of court or whatever.
yeah.
And yeah, it was his first trial, so he had to dress up.
And here's something also, and I'll let me get back up here to this message. Where was it? Someone said something about Tim Walz in Italy. Yeah. Okay, so I'll get back to the scene here in a second. But here's something shocking, and I still want to look this up. Tim Walz, who spent 24 years in the National Guard. Now, mind you, of course, it's National Guard, it's not active service, so a lot of that is just 2 weekends or whatever. Nonetheless, it's still 24 fucking years where he did get to the rank of Command Sergeant Major, was running a battalion as a senior NCO. His entire award, like personal award, meaning stuff where you actually do something and then you get award for it, 1 commendation medal and 2 achievement medals.
Ooh.
In 24 years. This is also where in his bio, I think like the actual military bio, not the one that he falsified. It says that he did, he did the tour in Italy. And this says multiple disaster relief operations. We all know that, especially if you're an NCO, more often than not, people are getting awards for shit. But especially if you're an NCO, at least in a leadership position, I'll say that much. Like I went to New Orleans as a sergeant E5 in response to Hurricane Katrina. I didn't have a leadership role. I got a certificate of achievement, which is basically if you're not going to get a medal, then you get a certificate of achievement. It's nice to hang on the wall and put in your I Love Me book, blah, blah. It's worth promotion points. But other than that, more often than not, if you're serving like multiple operations, especially the leadership, I can't imagine any scenario where you only get 1 single medal, 1 commendation medal. I'm going to assume that, actually think about this, even in retirement, you usually get a medal. Like if you retire, they give you a retirement medal. So did he get a commendation medal for retirement and then only 2 achievement medals?
I've been trying to just avoid looking into all this because it's a new thing every day.
It's my job. I have to.
Yeah, there you go. No, that's good. I'm glad you do it. But because every day I hear something new from Tim Pool, from Crowder, from the mainstream, from everything. It's all like does anybody know actually this stuff? And here's what I think. I think they did whatever it is when they pick a candidate and look back at their record and wondering opposition research, maybe something like that, where like, okay, what are they going to come after for? And they're like, oh yeah, his record or military. They're like, oh yeah, so that'll be fine. He did all right. But now that I don't think they looked into it. So I think all these things, most of them are pretty legit. I mean, a lot of these people are bringing it up. It's easy to look into. The records are there. They're either wrong, or they're there to look at. All of our stuff is categorized everywhere. It's all digital, and so was he just lying all these years? And
yes, he absolutely was.
Or even if it wasn't lying, if some reporter said, "Oh yeah, you're this, and this. How was that for you?" He didn't correct him. So it's like, no, actually, I was, here's accurate story. Because that's what I have to do with how my situation happened 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Like, it wasn't this, but I was over here.
We absolutely know because we've had place to do the research. They've contacted public affairs over in Minnesota. They've confirmed he was not retired Command Sergeant Major. He did not serve in combat. All this has been confirmed by the public affairs. I think it was like an 08. I think it was a major, or not 08, 05, or 04, whatever. In any case, it was a major, high-ranking officer from public affairs that confirmed he's been lying this entire fucking time. But then beyond that, it's like I even saw somebody else in here say that normally, like something like a Command Sergeant Major, when you retire, you're getting at least something like a Legion of Merit as a retirement award. That is very fucking common. I'm telling you, this guy must have been a massive fuck up to get only 1 single commendation medal and 2 achievement medals in 24 fucking years, even in the Guard. That is ridiculous. I didn't serve in the Guard, but I found that
and
really
he got
hard
out
to
in
believe.
06, right?
I had 2 commendation medals after my first 3 years in the Army. I had a commendation medal for my Iraq and a commendation medal for my PCS move when I went to Fort Bragg. That's just, I wasn't even an NCO yet. I was an E4 when I got those 2 medals.
If you're a decent E4 or below, you can get an achievement medal somehow. If you're the top, and I'm not just talking like a gimme award, like if you're the top in your section, your unit, your platoon, in any kind of, a lot of it's PT, or I wouldn't say the range, maybe the range, depending on if you do well and then go to somewhere else or whatever. But no, you can get, if you're a decent specialist, you know, around that time, you can get awards.
But all you gotta do is do your job, do what you're told, and normally that will have you stand out from the rest of the others and get you a fucking award, because more often than not, you got all the other fuck ups who have to learn to get better. It is, just do what you're told, say roger that, move out, and more often than not, you're gonna be rewarded just for being a good fucking trooper who knows how to follow orders. Because that's all you gotta do is just be a follower at that point, and then you learn how to be a leader.
And think real quick,
I
was gonna say, like 2001, like September 11th. He was still in for 5 years in his later part of his career, because I think he got out in 06 or retired in 06. So that's like 5 years. You should still be at the top of your game, and you know, whatever,
he was a first sergeant.
I'll say earning awards. Yeah. So So what would that unit be like, that company? If you're the first sergeant of a company and you're, I don't know. I maybe I should look into his time.
Like, how bad of a leader do you have to be as a first sergeant that you're not doing anything that merits a fucking award?
That's the initial invasion time. In
a time of war, that is insane to me. I don't understand that. But real quick, I do want to hit on this. So I know you're joking here about the Italy thing. You're not far off, though, dude. When my unit, the 173rd Airborne Brigade, deployed to Iraq for the invasion in March of 2003, that was the time period we were stationed in Vicenza. He was sent to Aviano Air Base, which is about 1 hour north of us. That's where we always went to go do our jumps. And this motherfucker here, what's up, Mo? Welcome, dude.
Hey,
Mo. Welcome, dude.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
Just doing a little quick ranting about Tim Walz and his fucking stolen valor piece of shit ass. Here's something so when we're talking about public affairs, also, I'm going to do this. I'm going to contact the Minnesota National Guard public affairs and find out why it is that he's been claiming that he was a veteran because he was in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. And I can see that he is able to back that up, at least because even on the history website, the one of the 125 Field Artillery Battalion even says on there that they were deployed to Aviano Air Base in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. Makes no fucking sense for anyone who's in the military. One, he was there for a security operation. They were there to ramp up the security for Aviano Air Base, which was a strategic, it is a strategic location, a large fleet of C-130s and a fighter air wing, something like that. But that unit, there's no way that, and I was going to do this today, I forgot to do it. I guarantee I go to the history of the units there in Aviano Air Base. I guarantee their history is not going to say that those units were running in the support of Operation Enduring Freedom. If anything, they were in support of the global war on terror. Only people who are supporting Operation Enduring Freedom are in Afghanistan.
That's what I thought. I thought there was an Operation Iraqi Freedom that I got.
Yes, and if anything, they're operating in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom because they're supporting us, the 173rd Airborne Brigade at that time. This makes no sense for that unit or him to claim that he was in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. They were there in support of the global war on terror, not Afghanistan. I guarantee that units there probably did support of both venues, not just Afghanistan.
I know those policies did change around that time because, like, if you serve at certain times, I could claim one award or the other. I can't claim both. But yeah, so I picked the Iraqi Freedom because I was there during that time. I was in Iraq. I'm like, I don't really need that global war on terrorism. What is the Expeditionary Medal? But yeah,
the light blue one.
They changed policies around that time in 03, 05, 06. So it's
right. And in 01, when everything kicked off, well, actually, Iraq and Afghanistan for a while had no award whatsoever. And when the circumstances changed, I was awarded the Global War on Terror Expeditionary Medal for going to Iraq in 03. And then later on, the the Iraq medal was created, and you were allowed, because it wasn't a condition initially, I was allowed to continue to wear the Expeditionary Medal for that operation, but then also the Iraq medal for my time over there in Iraq. And I'm also going to say this, because I know I pulled out my blues one time, and so if anybody's going to try to call me out or anything like that, yes, I have two stars on my Iraq medal, because you don't wear a star just for your one single deployment. You wear it for every part of the campaign. So when I was there in Iraq in my second tour, there were 2 parts of the campaign that I was in there for, and so I'm wearing multiple stars on there. So that's how that works out. Just for anybody who's out there who wants to say one thing or another. Okay, I actually know this shit. Do your fucking research if you want to try to pull some fucking shit on me.
The Army is like, look it up, or where did that come from? Can you?
Bro, I had to go to the fucking sergeant's board, all right?
Yeah.
My job for months before doing that was just learning all these fucking manuals. So don't come at me, tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, because I almost aced my fucking promotion board, by the way.
That's a thing about the promotion boards. You try to memorize and whatever you can, whatever you think that they're gonna. Mo, if you don't know this, like a lot in the military and the Army, when you're promoted into a leadership role, you go beneath a board, it's called. So it's multiple first sergeants, sergeant majors, and all they do is
top ranking assholes in your unit.
In front of you, you're standing there. You got to either stand up or sit down the right way. It's all DNC, drill and ceremony type, bells and whistles type things. And they're just grilling you with Army questions or current events or whatever for like an hour, maybe more.
You have to remain there the entire time, either in the standing position of attention or sitting position of attention. And you have to give every single answer in a very proper way. Roger that, first sergeant. The answer to that question is blah, blah. Or I do not know the answer to that question. I'll refer to 670-1. I'll get back to you later. However the fuck that
if you don't know if you don't know the answer, you got to know where you could find it. Like the book, like would that come from a Marvel book or a DC book? Kind of like that. And like,
it sounds like the Turing test for grunts. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
good.
Are you a grunt? All right, we're gonna test you. Like we're gonna see. Like, one. Are you an android? No, I think I might be human. I don't know.
Oh no, I managed to fuck up and I sounded human instead of a robot. That's points off.
Yeah, it's a reverse Turing test.
It's a reverse, exactly.
Yeah, that's not the whole.
Yeah, I wish I would have pushed my dad more on that kind of stuff. He was active during Vietnam. He's a cryptographer, so he had a lot of.
Oh, cool.
That dude. God bless. By the way. Salute to the late and great Big Al. We lost him about 7 years ago, but he was a man, dude. He's a cryptographer. Never, even to his family, gave up any secrets. He's like, I'm not going to Leavenworth, was always his answer. So yeah, but we had to find out stuff after the fact. We didn't realize that he got deployed to Vietnam and he was involved in the Tet Offensive. Like it was like, that's incredible. Yeah, dude. Like he was a patriot from the bottom of his feet to the tippy top of his 6'5" giant ass head. So
yeah, that's awesome,
dude. He was so he was good. Yeah, no, he was awesome. Also, one of the fastest typers I've ever seen in my life. Period. Of course, if you're a cryptographer and you're typing on teletypes, you don't want to mess that up. So
that's interesting. Maybe that's why I communicate the way I do, of just very logical, because I spent years on the Army radio of just saying things very clearly, knowing exactly what I plan to say, what I think that they're going to respond with. Once I say this, it could be one of 5 different things. So I'm going to kind of prepare for their response back and forth.
Dude,
so yeah, maybe I got radio brain. They say you get radio ears. I'm sure you heard this, Adam, where it's like Mo Zamboni, if I sit you down with an Army radio and they start going, you're like, what are they talking about? Like everyone feels that your first time, but slowly you just start picking up I guess you separate the white noise from the actual things being spoken. And then you could tell, like, people's where they're from, and you could start associating the voice with a name. Cause it did not sound like this, like, streaming and everything. It was all muffled and stuff, but eventually you get to the point and be like, yep, I know exactly who that is, what unit they're in, what they're saying, it's an emergency or a 9-line, emergency type thing. It's like, yep, I know exactly what to do. And that training just kicks in.
I just couldn't imagine electronic communication, essentially like paging or texting, like where you're doing teletype, where it's basically like you send it and it's a typewriter on the other end of the world. and you got to make sure what you're sending is correct. I don't think there's any kind of correction mechanism in because he served from 69 to 73. It wasn't like at the end or at the beginning. It was like right in the meat of the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. I mean, I can't imagine at that time either. You're right, because shit. By the time when I was doing surveillance operations with long range surveillance, we had the top of the line shit at this point. I mean, we were going on our train missions, obviously all of our missions at this point with fucking tough books, and even our radios. I forget the nomenclature. The Harris radios that we had were basically like fucking computers in our rucksacks, and this was before. Shit, we were still using the flip phones at this point with the text message where you had to hit each number on there multiple
Yeah,
times.
T9
Like
baby, dude. I would have been an
Yeah.
asset to America because I used to activate phones all the time. I was like, dude, I could go so quick on that.
I got pretty good at it too, but at this point, at least, if we didn't have specific requirement to send over radio communicating, and sometimes when we'd be doing surveillance operations and we need to stay so covert, it's actually better to just send the messages, and it was like an instant messenger that we were sending this stuff via. We were able to take pictures and send digital pictures back, and believe me, at this time, this technology was fucking amazing. You know, nowadays I can't even imagine the fucking technology they're using now, but at this
So
time,
was the
back in
IBM teletype.
2001,
That thing was way
shit.
out of the fucking the teletype was insane.
Yep, we need
Like, people don't understand. It's literally like a bastardization. It's like the original. It's basically the internet essentially. It's like instant messenger in a way, but it's like a telegraph and a typewriter. And you know, if you ever watch Good Morning Vietnam, they show that in there quite a bit.
Vietnam. God, I gotta see that movie again. It's been a long time.
Dude, when what's his face? Gosh darn it, the lazy-eyed dude. I'm having a brain fart. I'm very tired.
I haven't seen that movie in a while.
Yeah, exactly. What's his face?
Don't worry, dude. I haven't been able to remember any fucking name for like a month now. I swear.
No, it's the guy with the lazy eye. He's a great actor. He was in Rogue One. He was
Oh yeah, Lawrence something. Yeah, the black dude's got the lazy eye.
Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker.
I got that Forrest Whitaker eye. Like you said something so stupid.
Yep.
I got that you know. Anyways, at the end of the movie, he keeps starting the car while it's already going, and Robin Williams is like, "You're getting that's pretty impressive at this point." Like he's just like clowning on him. Like it was such a good movie.
Yeah, Robin.
And it had a lot of gravitas in it. Like, only a little bit of formaldehyde is good for you. Like,
there's so many good sound bites in there. I got to get some sound bites and clips from that one, man. I'm obviously got a lot from Tropic Thunder, but there's a lot of good ones in there. Fucking that was peak Robin Williams right there, dude. Fucking
he's like, I feel like I'm the miracle worker. He's like,
like. All right, hey, real quick. Pop on. I got Blue Cordell's already popping in with 2 shots worth. I want to show it because the store, my regular store here, didn't have any Redneck Riviera, but I want to highlight this because I think I've seen this on the shelf, but I've never actually really looked at it. Bourbon ready to drink. I'm like, holy shit, it's made to look like a fucking an MRE. Take a close look at it. It's Hotel Tango. As soon as I saw Tango, I'm like, obviously this is military shit. It says pour with purpose, high standard issue, serve with honor. And it's got a thing saying this side up to store, this side down, or this side up to pour. It's just obvious all this fucking military shit around here. And on the back it says drink responsibly, behave less so. And it does say on here Hotel Tango distillery, veteran owned, operated. That's fucking awesome, dude. I love the look of this thing. So I haven't had it yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to checking this out.
Okay, so you know I'm in branding and graphic design. That's a less is more, like a son of a bitch. That's like because one of my favorite channels to watch is the guy that eats MREs from like 70 years ago that haven't been open yet.
Ooh. You know, those are actually no good past like 8 years, dude.
No, he doesn't care. He opened up a World War I one. He's like, it doesn't.
Okay, I've seen that. Yeah, it's like the old cans.
Dude, it's so good. But he'll do like new stuff. But when he opens up the really old stuff and everything is the same color, it's
yeah. The actual number is like. Obviously, I think it's more of a quality thing than anything else. Like, I don't think Emery's going to go bad after 8 years, but I have had the ones that are really old, and it is very obvious. Like the taste is gone. It's after a while, it doesn't taste good anymore. But it's also not meant to last forever. People think, oh, this stuff it'll last forever. Nah, even my dehydrated emergency food that I have is only meant to last 25 years. But Emery's going to go bad way before that.
You got the best chat my man. Like, we got people just throwing shit out there immediately. It's Steve 1989. It's amazing. Like, I don't watch him that often, but when I do, I go right down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
It's like the lock picking lawyer. I'm just like, I get so like enamored. I'm just like, I gotta stop. I can't stop. It's amazing. Yeah, but
I know I've seen one of his videos. Yeah, it was like an old like World War II can of something, and I'm like, no way, you're not gonna eat. He ended up not eating it because it was clearly very fucking rotten. But I thought he was actually gonna try it. But
he ate one that was not rotten
and spit it out. But
yeah, but I'm just good on him. You know, you should always swallow though to all the ladies out there. But I mean, you know.
Hey-o. All right, let's get to Blue Cordell here for 20. Play. Simply saying it has begun. I should just always have it ready when I say that. Now it's just like awkward.
It has begun.
Wow.
Thank you, Blue Cord. Dude, CapCut has come out with some great new features, bro. CapCut has increased their quality.
Dude, your thumbnails and production value have gone up way past your ability level, so that's okay.
Ouch.
Well, we're twins. I know, because
like
we're twins. We're twins. So it's a burn on me too, kind of, right?
You're doing a great job for someone who sucks at this. Thanks.
Okay. I thought you were in the army. Isn't that what they tell you all the time?
Oh yeah, fair enough. But I did. I mean, what the one good thing that I got from joining PSYOP, which I consider to be a big regret of mine, because I did not like my time in PSYOP. But when I was on deployment, and even though I was stuck behind a desk, I did work with we have graphics specialists who create our products. So, we go through the process of coming up with the ideas of what the products need to look like and verbally say in order to portray the message that we need it to, and then we hand off to the graphics guy. So he actually taught me a lot about see, brain gone, brain dead.
This is going to be a clusterfuck, especially for taking shots. Yeah,
Photoshop. Actually, I think I'm doing better after I take a few shots. I think I do better.
You zoned in.
I love that.
I gotta get a pour on this thing too. It's one of those bottles that it just dribbles all over the place. I gotta put a fucking spout on that. But yeah, I actually learned quite a bit on Photoshop just from my tour in Iraq, which I'm not proud to say. By the way, I'm one of those guys, I never wanted to be stuck behind a desk, and I spent an entire tour behind a desk, and I fucking hated it. It was the worst thing ever for me. So that being said, let's just laugh at a lieutenant hitting his head on a fucking tank. Thank you, Blue Cord. All right, you guys fill in something while I go put a spout on this thing, because I'm pouring fucking whiskey all over my desk right now.
No worries.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
I added to my collection. I got Wolverine and Deadpool now. Those are popcorn buckets from Marcus. Yeah, Marcus Theater. So I saw it there.
Nice.
And I'm like, I knew it was going to sell out. And it was.
I love the hat next to it. That was the one you wore in Dallas, right?
Which one?
The hat that's right next to Wolverine.
Yep.
Yep, that was a good one.
One of them.
One of them? Oh no, it was the one. It was the one on the bottom. It was a straw hat. It wasn't. Okay, that's what it was. Yeah. I think so.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I wasn't quite sober for that entire meetup. So
I try to bring a new hat each time I take a trip. But yeah, it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
What
we're talking about trips and Deadpool and stuff like that.
And hats.
Compared.
We basically accomplished nothing. I'm a civilian, and I will never steal anybody's valor because I'm retarded. So.
Well, so is Tim Walz, and he still managed to steal valor even though he served for 24 years.
And retired.
Yes, but I was raised by an actual veteran who was an actual man, unlike probably what he grew up with. No person that serves in the armed forces should be like, we should put tampons in the boys' bathroom.
Oh, God.
Ever.
He's such a fucking retard. We talked about this ad nauseum just a couple days ago, I think. But If you guys want to check it out, I even saw somebody point out the fact that he's wearing a green beret hat also. When all this stuff came out, go back and check out my videos. I did a whole video on him, like when he first got announced. So go look for that picture. There's a picture of him with the picture of that on there. So I go with all the reasons on there why even wearing that hat is stolen valor. And I'm really upset that actually when we did the live stream, I pointed this out that I'm not giving any fucking name drops or anything. I don't know Angry Cops, the big fucking huge YouTuber he's a cop but also former drill sergeant. I think he's still in the New York Reserve. But he did respond to my message when he was saying that he's got the video coming up and he's gonna be fair and balanced with him. And I said, no, fuck that. I went onto my video and I leaned heavily on the fuck this stolen valor piece of shit. And I linked my thing on there. And like I said, right in the thumbnail shows a picture of him wearing a hat that has the fucking Special Forces crest on there, de Presso Liber. And Angry Cops replied to me and said, I'm not touching that one. People are allowed to wear what they want to wear, especially if they're doing that in honor of someone or something. And he used the example because he's a Bills fan. He's from that area. He says, I wear my Bills hat, but that doesn't mean I'm trying to claim I'm with the Bills. Everyone who's in the military knows that's not how it works. I say in my video, and I even said in my reply to him, I will forgive a civilian for not understanding the difference. All right. If I got somebody who's wearing a 173rd hat, I'm not going to get upset at them if they say they're wearing in honor of their buddy who served in the 173rd. I use this example also. I knew somebody he's big on tattoos and all those weird places. He had dog tags on his neck. I asked him if he served. He said, no, he's wearing for his cousin who died in Iraq.
Sure.
Totally forgive
awesome.
that.
Yeah, totally. That's awesome.
Totally forgive that. 100%. I met a dude who had airborne wings tattooed on his arm. He said he wore it for his uncle who was in an airborne unit in Vietnam. And I could tell even when he was saying that even he's kind of embarrassed for that. Yeah, I didn't shoot him out by any means, but
that's probably just for ignorance. He probably doesn't know what it takes to become that instead elite thing.
Exactly.
I
can forgive that.
You could just be like, I got an Air Force thing because my dad was this, but I could have no idea what it took to become an Air Force paratrooper or whatever like that. But if I knew, then it'd be like, okay, maybe I'm not going to tattoo that, even though it's for someone who passed away. It's a tattoo. Do a little bit of research.
Yeah. But when it comes to someone who served 24 years in the Army, we're not even talking about a pogue. This guy actually joined the Army as an infantryman. Eventually went into field artillery. The guy served in combat arms. He knows better. He's wearing a hat that has the Special Forces crest. When you zoom in, it does look like it has a 1 behind it. Very faded. So it means he's got a hat that's the 1st Special Forces group is what he's rocking there.
What? So
wear that.
Yeah, he's probably wearing it because he knows somebody in 1st Special Forces group, but I don't care. That's not what you do. I know also he's never claimed that he was Special Forces. And also, it does not matter. You know damn well that if you're wearing a hat that is Special Forces crest, you are wearing that because you want people to have the impression that you were Special Forces.
Yep. It's an impression. If other Special Force or other people that worked with the unit was in the unit, they'd come up to you and said, hey, where'd you serve? Or what operation or whatever the deal was. But then be like, oh, I wasn't actually in it, or I didn't actually earn it or get it. Like that's weird to do. Like I would never wear a different unit's patch for one.
Even it's a hat.
Yeah, a hat. I wouldn't wear, like, here's a good example. My first unit was at Fort Campbell, but the unit was 9101, and it was reassigned to 3rd ID. So my orders out of AIT said 4-3 Aviation at Fort Campbell. And I'm like, what is this? I thought I was 101st. And they're like, nope, they got changed. Now you're 3rd ID. They're going to Iraq, so we're going to meet up with them there and then go back down.
Which patch did you wear?
3rd ID the whole time. So
okay, so even when you would have said you were signed with the 101, you were still went 3rd ID, not.
Yep, we had to wear 3rd ID, even though it was basically we just trained for deployment at Fort Campbell, did all the pre-training, and then took up there, met up with the main unit, and then came back to Fort Campbell. Got rid of the gear that had to stay there. the TA-50 and stuff, took our personal stuff down to Savannah. And I think a couple months after return deployment or whatever it's called. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, now you're at your third ID proper. So
Gotcha.
But yeah, I'm like, oh, it would have been cool to be 101st, you know, with all the back history, the World War II band
Just the
of brothers.
patch alone is fucking
awesome.
But,
but that's the thing. I'm never gonna wear a T-shirt that says it. I'm never gonna put the patch on any kind of uniform that I'll ever wear.
And you were actually attached to them. You actually had a connection to that in that way. But
I have no paperwork that says I should be 101st. I have no you know, basically when we got to Fort Campbell, they were already deployed in Iraq. And so it was kind of a thing where 101st was coming back and 3rd IE was replacing. I don't know if it was directly replacing them, but it was a good area where kind of switched back and forth. But
you know,
so I would never wear 101st. It's a really cool patch with the Screaming Eagle, and we do the songs and marches and stuff. But it's like it's not me.
To piggyback off of that also, and Mo, I know you
morally, it's not me.
I know Mo has his hand up politely because he's a good student. I'll get to you here in 1 second. I want to use this as an example though. So, like I said, so when I was in PSYOP, we did serve under Special Operations Command, which is why I got the red patch here. This is, you know, everyone gets these confused. You have the Special Forces one, which is blue with a dagger in the middle with 3 lightning bolts. This is the Special Forces Command, Army Special Operations Command, which has 75th Ranger Special Forces Group, PSYOP, Civil Affairs, and 160th Aviation, along with some support units and whatnot. PSYOP now, my PSYOP group now falls directly under 1st Special Forces Group, which, like I said, that's the Special Forces patch that everyone does understand. That's the Green Berets. I don't know exactly the reason why, for whatever coordinate, whatever command decision they have, they all wear now the Special Forces patch. I was not in when they did that. I did not earn that patch. As awesome as that would be to have a Special Forces patch pinned on my hat, I'm not going to fucking do it because I wasn't there under the command of 1st Special Forces Command. I worked under USOC, which, and I use this example also with fucking Tampon Tim. Is it a shame to have to say you retired as a Master Sergeant? That's a high fucking rank, dude. That's badass. No, he has to lie and say he was a Command Sergeant Major. He has to lie and say he was in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. Everything he fucking did was a good career. He served as an infantryman, an artillery specialist. He served honorably, at least we think he did. The fact he only got 1 commendation medal and 2 shooting medal makes you think he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, now that you say that, if he was infantry, I thought you guys get medals all the time. Like, you're doing awesome stuff and award. Like, when you go to, I don't know.
That's a whole nother thing. Also, this is another thing I'm planning on. I want to contact the Nebraska National Guard because that's where he served when he first joined, and then he went to Minnesota. And his records even show, actually, his history shows he served as an 11 Bravo infantryman and also a 71 Lima fucking paper pusher, pencil pusher, administrative specialist, which we all joke around. The 71 Limas, when you talk about Pogue, that is fucking the Pogue of Pogue right there. So I'm very curious. Why did he have those 2 specialties? Did he originally enlist in infantry, but then was nothing but a paper pusher? I'm curious about that.
Know. Oh, yeah.
I'm very curious about that. No one's contacted the Nebraska National Guard. They just been talking to Minnesota because that's where the lie comes from about him retiring as a sergeant major. Mo, I'm very sorry, dude. You held your hand up very politely. What you had to say, buddy?
Well, my whole thing is all of the. I am a person, and as corny as it may seem, I don't think it's corny at all. The fact that I get to talk on a stream with a bunch of base chads, or if I get to do anything, whatever I do, when I'm grilling in front of my garage, I don't have to worry about having the government knocking on my door. I don't have to worry about getting attacked by foreign people. Don't give enough respect for all the freedoms we have in this country. Like, they don't understand, like, there's countries where you could just be gone in a second. You could step on a landmine. Like, it just doesn't, like, we have so many freedoms here, and it only comes from people like you, Adam, and you, Drew. Like people that actually, but here's the thing I wanted to say is the people that you meet, they wear their hats, they wear their veteran hats, because and this is my interpretation of it is because of their team that they served with. Like they're just basically saying, like you said, the Buffalo Bills. Well, these guys played on the Buffalo Bills, and they're like, hey, yeah, my teammates, and they probably lost a few. I talked to a Marine.
4 Super Bowls in a row.
Wide left. Anyways, yeah. No, but I talked to a Marine, and this guy was like, there's some spirits flying around because of this motherfucker. He was because my dad was Air Force, and he would joke around how he'd talk about it's a plush hotel and all that stuff. And, he's like, you only join the Air Force when you want to pull the lever to drop bombs, or, like he would joke around about it because he just joined the Air Force, but he loved it. He says the best 4 years of his life, I'll never do it again. But yeah, he loved it. But so I talked to this Marine, and I was like, thank you for your service. I was like, my dad was in the Air Force, but and he came over to me and he shook my hand. He almost broke my fingers. He's like, they dropped bombs on Charlie and saved our ass.
There you go.
Dude, like it makes my
it's all connected.
But
they're different branches to the units. Yeah, it's
dude. But the guy straight up is like he just walked off the field with his stare. He literally looked right through me.
Yeah,
because I was just trying to be cool with it, and he was just like, "Nah, son." He's like, "Dude, like you don't know, like."
Yeah. Well, you can't explain it. The toughest thing is explaining it. And so going back around, why would you make up stuff that didn't even exist? There's so many things that I don't want to talk about, that I can't imagine just making up stories just to whatever.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. And and what you're saying goes to my second point that why I politely raised my hand, because I'm in.
Oh, jump in.
I'm in the
here. We met each other in real life.
I know, but I also know Adam talks a lot, which is okay. He can rock the mic, but I got
my soapbox, but yeah.
That's okay. I didn't want to knock him off it. I just wanted to politely push him off it, so it was okay. So but the other thing is, I think the best of the best veterans, because you get people that are like Black Rifle Coffee, and they're like, like they're just. They're kind of they kind of like lean into that, which is what a lot of people do. But I think that the people, especially, and I'm hoping this is the case with me. I mean, I'm not trying to talk on my own behalf, but I feel like if you served your country, and my dad had GI Bill, lived off nothing to get through college. Like he basically his family was in poverty for 4 generations before he was. They came over on the boat. We were a bunch of Irish mix that couldn't figure out how to grow potatoes. So we're like, fuck it, we're out of here. They came over, couldn't figure out that they couldn't do anything. Everybody served. World War I, Spanish American War, I think. I don't know too much before my great grandfather, but I know that they served every war. So 1, 2, Korean, like all that stuff. Vietnam with my dad, and I think the fruit that is born from the tree of these people shows you that they are good people. If you're putting tampons in a fucking boy's bathroom, you ain't shit, son. So I'm just saying, like most
tampon off the pooper.
And I'm not saying that you have to vote for one way or another, but if you raise somebody with that has good values, because most veterans are like almost embarrassed. They're very thankful, but they only wear that hat to kind of let people know that. Like I had the wonderful privilege to shake a World War II veteran's hand last year.
Nice.
And he was still with it. I mean, yeah, he was, he was in a hover round, but I'm like, dude, like he was a World War II vet, and to thank anybody, I've thanked them all across the line, and they are the most thankful people because they understand that they give up the middle of the prime. They give up essentially the prime of their life to help defend shitheads like me that have horrible takes on the prequels. I understand, Star Wars prequels, they're overrated, but I'm just going to say, saying, like, people don't understand. I go out and grill every day. I let my son, my 11-year-old son, I let him know how lucky he has it. And the people that just kind of assume that we just deserve this, they are sorely mistaken. And the the veterans that are worth the shit, I'm sorry, I don't mean to say it that way, but it's true. the veterans that respect respect their position and what they did, they are very solemn, and they don't like brag on what they did. They did it because they thought it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And it comes through with the people that surround them. So you judge people by their company. Most of the veterans I've met are just amazing people. There's no stolen valor. They're very like they're incredibly grateful if you tell them thanks, because I don't think anybody does it. Which is, if you meet a veteran, and even if you're a civilian, especially like me, fucking shake their hand and tell them thanks, because you don't know how good you have it. You don't know how close we are to just being like under the boot of a bunch of dumbass idiots if we didn't have people like Adam and Drew. And I know I get worked up about this. One of my greatest regrets is not enlisting, but I tell you what, I am grateful for all of my ancestors that enlisted, and for everybody that is willing to take a bullet for this country, whether it be literal or hypothetical. So I love this country, and I love our veterans, and I hate people that steal valor.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks
a
Mo.
lot.
Hey,
I appreciate
Adam,
that
out. That was a good. That was a good.
That was a good rant there, buddy. And I mean, rant in a good way. That was good.
It was a fair and balanced rant.
Absolutely. The only thing that I don't know how to fucking verbalize. It's not a correction or anything, but I was just on Mike Harlow's show the other day. Mikey, great guy, former leftist, very, very gay. I mean, very gay. All right, he's no problem hiding. He's fucking hilarious. If you guys haven't already checked him out, he's been on my show. Go check out the episodes.
Yeah, he has the longest fingers on the face of the planet. By the way, he's fucking he's an alien.
Don't need to know about that. I haven't met him in person yet. But the point is though is that when I was on, he wanted to talk about military things, and he asked me what my opinion is on thank you for your service. And I'll say this to somebody who served. I joined the Army in 2000, and I think it was in 2004 when I got over to the States, when all of a sudden I was getting the thank you for your service thing a lot. And it did get old very quickly. I have no ill will at all for anyone who wants to show that to me, especially if they're being legitimate. I think there's a lot of the virtue signaling out there. There was a lot of that. I looked at anyone, I hate to say it like this, but when I saw a yellow ribbon magnet on the back of somebody's car, it looked like virtue signaling to me. And I'm sure not everyone had that mindset. I'm sure there's probably plenty of them who actually legitimately support the troops. But I use the example, and again, I managed to get a picture with Gina Carano when we were all in Florida at the same time. But yeah, I went to. Oh yeah, you did too. Yeah.
Yep.
We should have linked up, dude. That was a long time to stand in line, but I met some really good people there. But I know Jay Drunk 3PO. He was there, and I tapped him on the shoulder, and he very kindly came up when it was my turn to go get my picture, and he introduced me to her and said, "This is Adam. He's a YouTuber, and he's also a military veteran. She is so sweet, legitimately gave me a big hug. And instead of saying thank you for his service, she said thank you for everything you've done." And that has so much more meaning to me. And especially I know that at this point, like, it's just that thank you for your service has been said so many times at this point, but at the same time, like, what does that really mean? Thank you just simply for serving, but instead she said thank you for everything you've done. And I think, and no matter who you are, no matter what your job was, you sacrificed a great amount of your life.
Totally.
When you're talking about just basic training alone, even Navy and Air Force had to go through basic training. That's not a pleasant time. So I'm not talking about, you don't have to be someone who got shot at, had to fucking be a Navy SEAL, Ranger, or anything like that. Just simply the amount of sacrifice you gave for your time away from your family is enough to say thank you for what you've done, rather than thank you for your service. Thank you for your service is, I'd rather that just stop completely. But if you're going to say anything, I think that thank you for what you've done has a lot more meaning behind it.
And I understand that, but I always preface it with "pardon me, sir," and in rare cases, "pardon me, ma'am," because it happens. It's okay, But I say "pardon me, sir," and I look at them and I give them the reverence that I would give my dad if I gave him.
Good. So it's all about the meaning, It's
yeah. No, but thank you for everything you've done. I think sounds better, But
I don't know if that's something like somebody maybe told her, or if that was just out of the pureness of her heart, because she is such a sweet person, like. But
it could be like that's
So
one
how close was the hug, by the way? I just got to know.
I got full. She wears that. She always wears that exact same clothes though, so it's a very big thing. There wasn't any cleavage.
Did you get half a chub?
Very
That's
classy.
what I want to know. Did you get half
careful?
a chub? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not careful. If you didn't, I would have really. I would think you're like a tampon Tim. If you don't get half a chub, if you don't get half a chub just in the presence of her, and I'm married, I would fucking be like sporting one. That's okay.
I was just blown away at the moment that I even had Jay Drunk 3PO introducing me to Gina Carano, who that was just, it was surreal to me. So believe me, I was definitely not thinking about tits.
Yeah, similar, Adam. That's same. Jay introduced me, said
nice,
which I never really talked to Jay like one-on-one or in messages or something. We did the super chats back and forth and stuff like that. But he knew I guess he started following me on Twitter, on X, and so he must have saw my story and learned a little bit more here and there. But yeah, he was able to tell her, be like, here's what happened to Drew in 2021 and all this, a few things, and then we took the picture and kind of. That's what we did. We held up the shirt because I had the Drunk 3PO 9-line shirt.
I was wearing mine. Yes, I know that was a big reason why he really wanted to.
That's cool. I had on Jay's Mickey Mouse one, but no. Going back to the whole thing, Mo, like that was a great thing to say. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I wasn't even planning. I didn't even have any plan ahead of time. I just threw on the shirt and didn't even think about it. So I was wearing his.
Have you lost some weight, my man? You look better now.
I put on weight. I've put on even more weight since this.
Oh, really? Well, I mean, just say it's muscle. Just say it's muscle. It's okay.
No, I'm not even gonna try to lie, dude. I've been.
No, it's about. I mean, wrapping all this stuff up. It's about the sentiment, the Army values. I don't know if you learned those when you came in, Adam. The
oh yeah, they made us learn all that.
Yeah, we had to learn this stuff. It was, loyalty, duty, respect, honor, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. And integrity was always one that stood out to me. I talk about it in on the board or in a speech here or there. Like integrity came up all the time. So I can't imagine somebody that's going to be
sergeant major
could be a heartbeat away from could be a heartbeat away from the president, could be the president. In a certain timeline, it's acting this way, being the leader of the military, the top, chief of the military, chief,
the top. Yeah, and that was my point. It's like it like most people, even if they were pushing pencils or do something, if they did something to help move the needle and help this country, they're very, very reserved and they don't advertise it unless once again you're wearing your team. I'm not on Geeks and Gamers, but I like supporting them because I think they're a force for good.
Yep,
they're like positive. But what I'm saying is, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, there's like comparing with like the Bills thing. You're not wearing that to say that you're on Geeks and Games. You're wearing that because you support them. You like what they do. Yeah. Very, very different from the military. Very different.
No, the military is if you're in a certain unit, a certain whatever branch or any kind of like a elite thing that has to be earned, they have graduation ceremonies for a reason after a lot of these schools, even PLDC.
When you get awarded these things. Yeah.
It's a real thing that you show that you earned. You went through all the requirements of either the school, the class, the unit, all the things to earn that, to wear something, to put it on a resume, an award or whatever. Like you earn that stuff. And I just couldn't imagine being somebody I'm not. And the whole thing is nobody's attacking Walz for his service or didn't. I think the Democrats or whoever's on Walz's side are trying to say you're attacking somebody that served and you're attacking his service. Like, no, we're attacking the lies. If there's a difference between the actual truths,
because Walz is attacking the service.
You're right. In an indirect way, he's doing that, and then you go back and say, "Hey, I think you're a little off in this paperwork and wearing that on the hat or saying this in the interview." And he's like, "No, what are you talking about? Everything's fine," because they lie. Commies are always going to lie.
Yeah, I've seen this attack multiple times now. It's like all these fucking keyboard warriors got the fucking message to say that, okay, anyone who's attacking Walz MN's military service, go out and say, oh, all of you guys want to support the military until all of a sudden now a Democrat is running for vice president. Now all of a sudden you should. No, motherfucker, I'm not going to support everyone who's in the military. I'm going to criticize like a motherfucker everyone who is a fuck up. I am one of the biggest components of criticizing General fucking Milley, the top fucking officer in the military, because he's a woke piece of shit who was destroying our fucking military and our culture. I'm not going to support everybody. Just like with the cops. You guys want to say all cops are bad. No, I'm not going to say all cops are bad. I'm also not going to support all cops. I'm going to go out and I'm going to fucking bash and I'm going to get on the ones who are the bad cops who are doing the wrong fucking shit, but I will support the ones who are good. There is no blanket anything. There is no black or white in any single one of the scenarios. There are good people and bad people in every single fucking organization, and I am perfectly fine, and I should be allowed to criticize the people who are fuck-ups. These people have no morals. They have no standards. All they want to do is keep on turning the attack on us when we're actually out there calling out the bullshit and the wrong things people are doing.
No, Adam, you're right.
No, but that's what I'm saying, and that was my point. Give me 1 second, Drew. I'm gonna just give me 10 seconds. Pardon me, sir. That's the thing. If you were raised by a vet with morals and values, then you will have morals and values. My dad, I woke up to Reveille every morning, even though from my dad's mouth, he'd go. I'm like, all right, I'm up. But you know what? He instilled values in me. He told me, like, looked me straight in the eye, like some of these veterans do when you like, when you joke around about the Air Force. When somebody who's been through it, or anybody, they don't even have to be in the military. When somebody knows like the truth about life and they look at you and they just want to instill some knowledge on you. My dad looked right through me. He's like, a real man does what he needs to do for his family. Like but it's because of this, what he learned from the Air Force. He grew up in a horrible house, dirt poor, horrible parent, and I'm just saying, like, the Army and the armed forces are amazing. The GI Bill is fucking amazing. Like, the only reason I'm here, and I'm sitting in my garage on a secondary computer, and I'm talking out of my ass because I'm in front of a microphone. Literally, people, thank these two men above us and thank everybody else in the military, because this is ridiculous that we get to enjoy this amount of just. This is stupid. Like, I should be
country in the world.
It's the greatest country in the world. And that's the other thing, real quick. People treat America like it's like an irredeemable marriage. Like, every marriage has problems. You're going to have problems, but you work through them. You identify them and you work through them. You don't just throw the whole thing out the window and you're like, maybe we should just get a new marriage and do it a different way. No, there's the best way to do it. And you try to fix things along the way. These people that are trying to say socialism, communism, and all this other bullshit are trying to tear this country apart because they have horrible motives. We are the best country on earth. We're not perfect, but most of us that support this country understand that, and we're trying to fix that. All right. I was never in the military, but I'll be damned if I don't support them every single day of the week, and I shut people down that talk out of their ass.
No, that's a good point, because even if you weren't military,
what's wrong with this statement? What's wrong with the idea of saying you want the country to be great?
But yeah, Mo, like, that's great, because you were outside the circle of somebody in the military, so you got a piece of it. Maybe you got good parts, maybe you got bad parts at times, but at least you got an aspect of it. So that's pretty cool.
I've definitely had the bad parts. I've hung out with 82nd Airborne drunk off their ass. It's pretty bad, but
it's going to go.
It's also pretty good. I would love to hang out with them again. Yeah.
Creates memories.
Yeah. I went to college 30 minutes south of Fort Bragg. So,
but don't you think that's a net positive, Mo, rather than not having that experience? Oh
no, they're crazy. That I had the same feeling I did when I would talk about Dennis Rodman on the Bulls. I'd be like, I'm glad they're on our team. Like, the 82nd Airborne should just say, it should be like the Roman, like the Latin translation of "they're on our team." It's okay.
Yeah, right. No, but it makes sense to have military, have a volunteer military where you're saying, I'm raising my hand. I'm going to go do it. Put me in the game coach. I don't know what's going to happen. Train me up. Don't do me wrong. That kind of stuff. But yeah, that's the point. Is what we have, that kind of military, which is I guess you could look at different countries. Maybe every country, some have required military, some have like a required National Guard, like Norway type feel where you're deployed, but you're only going to go to the border of Norway. You're not going to.
I used to work with a Norwegian army member. They ain't sending their best, my man. I will dunk on him. This guy
I was there for a little bit.
This guy was a pussy from the.
Oh,
this
really?
Guy,
I know
gigantic.
a couple good ones.
The guy was 6'5", but he would get offended when you'd make fun of him, and you're just like, you're an asshole.
Oh,
like,
I've known some awesome ones. Yeah, I did a 2-week exchange program, I guess, over there. It was the best 2 weeks of my military life, but it was fun.
I mean, the women, that's a whole different story. But the men, the men are closer to the women, and the women are amazing. So
Yeah,
but yeah, just going back to the whole thing, it's integrity, it's the values that we either share with our battle buddies, our unit, our platoon, our section, whatever you connect with. And then you do some awesome stuff and earn some things. And then going back, you come back to your families and you're, like you said, your relatives, and you're teaching them skills, even though you might not doing it. You're going out camping and be like, oh, I'm bringing the tourniquet. I'm bringing these, waterproof matches, whatever the little thing is. It's like we have more knowledge. And that's another thing real quick. The people that came out of World War II, Korean War, Vietnam, they went on to Hollywood, a lot of them, and they made amazing movies. I'm going to pull some culture war stuff into here. But yeah, they're writers, they're actors, directors, comedians. And they had real life things to base their act or their performance on, not just you did nothing and you jumped right into Hollywood or like a Rachel Zegler type stuff, or like, oh, you went to college at Harvard for communication. You're like, that's not the same thing as a real life, being in Vietnam, being in World War II. I saw Black Hawk Down, and then I started working in a similar type thing. I'm like, wow, this is interesting. So yeah, that's the point, is like we do some awesome stuff and then come back, share it with our family, try to make something great out of the country that we have, the economy, and kind of give it our all.
Amen.
Yeah. And our armed forces fortify the best of us, and it goes down the generations if they actually heed what they have learned in the military.
It developed a great culture and a lot of great men, and now they want to get rid of all the good men. That's our modern military. But I gotta get some super chats here. Wayne Rowe, who was on and dropping a lot of super chats and support when I was over on Mikey's channel. Thank you so much, Wayne. For $5, the best line: "Good morning, Vietnam. What's the difference between the Cub Scouts and the Army? Cub Scouts don't have field artillery." Thank you. I gotta go back and watch that movie so bad, man. Thank you very much. That's with the chug. Man, I bought these fucking spiked teas. This is a fucking Lipton, and man, I feel like I'm just drinking fucking iced tea. I got dial back. I'm chugging it down a little too fast here. Especially got to dial back because Blue Cordell for 20. What are you gonna say, Mo?
I was gonna say, hopefully, I'm not tying my shirt around my head tonight. So
yeah, dude, I haven't taken my shirt off on a fucking stream in a long damn time, dude. For $20, Blue Cord says, I know several buddies in first group and in fifth group, talking special forces groups. Doesn't mean I get to wear it exactly. I had orders to go to sniper school, but they got ripped up in front of me because I was to be deployed to Haiti in 95. I'm not a sniper. See, I mean, all perfectly good examples. Yeah, dude, I went through, when you go through PSYOP, you go through the same school. I went through, it's the longest acronym of all time, the United States John F. Kennedy Special Warfare Training Center and School. And yes, all those get broken down to a fucking letter. It's the same. Yeah, we go through the same school with all these guys who are going through Green Beret training. So I know a lot of guys. We went through the same language school and everything. I'm not going to wear their fucking hat. That crest is something. The crest, the beret, and the long tab on their shoulder are all items that only if you go through Special Forces school are you allowed to wear. And because I actually spent a significant enough time in the military, I understand what it means when you wear that hat as somebody who's in the military. I would never wear it because I know better. Somebody who was a command sergeant major of a battalion for 24 years in the National Guard would also know that. He was wearing that around because he wanted people to think that he was a Green Beret. And he's a stolen valor piece of shit for it. But you, Blue Cord, I know you are not, so thank you very much, buddy. You're going to get kicked. No, you know what? I haven't played this one in a minute. Here. Oh, I thought I had that on with the repeat. There's a few of these where I added a little bit more comedic aspect. I got to edit that one, just like this one.
That wasn't an approach.
There you go. That's fair.
That's great.
Joe's being Joe's.
No, it just goes to the quote: "You can lie to everybody, but you can't lie to yourself."
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. So even if you're wearing that stuff and you know it deep down,
I feel like being a veteran is like that old saying, like everybody can be a father, not everybody can be a dad. Like,
Yeah, that's a good
like,
point.
like I think there's got to be some variation in the veteran community. Like you could serve, and if you served and you're not misrepresenting who you are, but I feel like there's people that took it to heart, and I feel like there's people that just, for whatever reason, like it's just like a transient kind of like time of their life. Like it's just weird that they would think that way. Like when I look at the people that run Black Rifle Coffee, I'm like, how are you fucking like this much of? How are you like this much of a pussy? Like if you served, how are you this much of a like you get so upset you want to dox Alex Jones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm
Those
like, how
guys-
do you get that way? Like what did you do in your service? Most people are very thankful. They're grateful for their service, even if they didn't enjoy it per se. But it's just like, you know what I mean? Like how do you serve your country and be such an asshole after the fact?
well, even in units, you know, you're going to have your bad apples, but the whole idea is to correct them. So you correct them when they make the little mistake rather than the big mistake. And so the whole point of like every day, like I don't know if you had them, but when we were formed up, we had to be inspected. We had to make sure our uniform looked good. The squad leader does that, and so that's like you should be criticized if you're all jacked up. Is what we say. You show up and you know your shirt's hanging out because you're out till 3 a.m. getting drunk or whatever the deal is on a Thursday, Friday morning, and you come back and you're messed up and it's not your normal thing, and you know you get reamed out for that. And then you fix it. You don't go out on Thursday nights again or whatever the deal is. But no, we're meant to criticize each other and make sure that we're representing, you know, the United States, the Army, our unit, and you don't want to look like a jackwagon.
Okay, so that reminded me of something because my dad would tell me about because we watched Full Metal Jacket together, and my dad, I could tell he was kind of recounting some memories, whether happy or not. My dad's handed out a few sock parties in his life. Was
We
that a thing when
almost
you guys
did.
are?
We
Did you?
almost
My dad, he told me, and it would have been. He talked to me like I was in his regiment. He's like, this motherfucker. He just got us in trouble so many times. He's like, we put soap in a sock, and we beat the shit out of this guy. We didn't want to,
Yeah.
but we're like, it was just like, yeah, no, it was, yeah. Anyways, sorry, go ahead. Good memories from Big Al. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what this dude did, but we had one of those fuck ups who was getting us smoked all the fucking time, and we talked about it. But I think a lot of people was just kind of. I was going to answer somebody here. I was asking me about the bourbon because I was making a little bit of a face there. Yeah, I don't think that it's. I think we were scared, especially because in 2000 we weren't. No, this is definitely like, you know, every single generation troop is ragging on the last generation because it's been getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And when I was in there, I think was not long before that was when the drill sergeants couldn't cuss at you anymore. They'd still yell, but they couldn't cuss. I think a lot of us was kind of getting like scared, you know, that we'd get in trouble for something like a sock party. I don't know, but we end up not doing. The guy and squaring himself out. But I can't believe now the drill sergeants can't even yell. They can't even yell at troops anymore.
Can't even yell, like no Arlie
can't
Ermies
even yell.
anymore. Not even on that level.
I think in the Marines they probably still will, but I think in all the other branches now, the Army is the last one. Just came out like Army Angry Cops was one to do a big fucking video because he was actually a drill sergeant. He was the drill sergeant in the fucking military. But yeah, fucking drill sergeants can't even yell because the troops are too fucking sensitive.
All right, I have a hat for people. Make drill sergeants assholes again. Let's go.
I've got mine. It's in the fucking shop. I know I've got people who've been buying. Make the Army great again. It's MAGA. I didn't want to make the military great again because that's MAGA, but I'm gonna have to do it though. But yeah, make the Army great again. They're a bunch of fucking pussies. Drew, what were you gonna say?
No, I just said, yeah, it gets. I think our drill sergeants definitely swore at us often. Yeah, and
They still did.
Yeah, and it wasn't. as bad as you thought it was going to be. I mean, I guess I didn't know what to expect going into basic training, but it was like, yeah, this sounds appropriate. It was more of a mental thing. Like once you get out of the idea that they're not going to like harm you, you're just going to do a lot of push-ups, a lot of running, a lot of writing, whatever you get in trouble for. And everyone gets in trouble for something in basic training. It's like, you can't not, do the wrong thing when you're there for whatever, 11 weeks or more with other stuff, with other more training. And then, you don't have all your family, your friends, your fast food, your entertainment. You're doing all the same thing. You're with guys from all over the country, maybe all over the world, and in different ages. It's going to be a chaos eventually, but it makes you stronger, and you just figure it out. Like all they can do is make me do push-ups, and I'm gonna get stronger. Okay, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, well, it is. I mean, it's a lot of the mental game. They do fuck with it. They find a way, because that is the entire concept. The entire idea of it is to break you down and build you back up to be a soldier. And again, the things just changed a lot. The shark attack was just a concept at the beginning where they would just go around you. They'll find any possible reason whatsoever early on to just get at you, to attack you, because they want to keep you on your toes. They want to break you down. They want to get you to understand respecting the authority. Unlike Bruce here, who says he got off the bus in '79. He's the first off and the only one that didn't get dropped.
Oh, good for you.
I love you, Bruce.
Wow, if you only uploaded that for that one comment, it would have been perfect. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's like, I've seen every single video, and like I think everyone thought this. When you first get lined up, you got your rucksack and some other bag, and you all have to toe the line. It's the first time that you officially learn how to get in formation and follow direction. And every single video I've seen of this, every single one's the exact same thing. No matter what, 3 times in a row, they will get fucked up, and they learn how to fucking get and understand physical discipline when they have to start doing push-ups. It is an instructional process. It doesn't matter. They will get fucked. They will get gigged for it 3 times in a row. Every single unit is all just a part of the process. And again, it's getting the beginning part of you to understand you are no longer in the civilian world. These are now your daddies right here, or in some cases your mommies as well. And you will listen to what daddy has to tell you, or daddy's going to spank your fucking ass. And that's what basic training's all about, man. And again, like, even in 2000, I thought it was fucking weak as shit. When I was going through it, I'm like, and I wasn't perfect. I got in trouble too. Just like you're saying, everyone got in trouble at one point or another. But it wasn't until I got to my unit, and I'm like, okay, basic training and the real army are very different from each other.
And there's a difference between getting in trouble and deliberately like fucking something up. Like, it's just because they test you on everything, on memorizing things, on weapons, on drill and ceremony. So it's just like, eventually you're going to have an area where that you don't do well at, or whether it's running. Like some guys that could run fucking 10-minute miles or 10-minute 2 miles, where the one that couldn't shoot, or something like that. So it's like, and then you get frustrated and you're messing up, and then you eventually just have to learn how to do better and keep up with everybody else. But that's just kind of the way it goes. Like you said, you break down the person as an individual, and then you're building up a baseline with 60 dudes or whatever it is.
Yeah. Okay. So, this is the. I just learned that the Air Force is just announced that they're going to start making basic training troops have to carry weapons again. I didn't know that was a thing.
They didn't?
I know. That shocked me. I saw that. I'm like, wait, you telling me that they didn't have to carry around weapons in basic training for Air Force? I get that it's not likely that they're going to have to use the weapons very often, but
do they
really not at all in basic fucking training?
My question to chat is, do they qualify in basic training on the range?
I'm guessing that like until just recently with the change, I'll bet they didn't have to qualify. It's not a fake story, bro. I saw this in the news. This is an official announcement from DOD that they just changed it so that they didn't have to. Dude, it's it's fucking nuts. And here's the thing, I wonder if this is a policy that changed under the Biden administration, because also just talking to Scotty, the machine dumber, Marine vet, I was out hanging out at a bar with him real quick for a beer before coming on here. He says that when he joined it, he got into the Marines. I think he went to Fleet in 2020. So this is the first year of Biden. He said DOD doctrine when it came to taking down an enemy troops is across the board, all branches. Always went for the standard being 2 in the chest, 1 in the head, right? Now, the standard is you put 2 in the chest and 1 in the groin. That happened the first year of Biden. That apparently is still standard. And we're sitting there, we're breaking it down, like the reason why? What would be the reason for that? And we both had the same conclusion. We're talking about like a long generation separate. I joined 2000. He went to combat deployment in 2020, 20 years apart from each other. We both came to the same conclusion. This woke ass fucking military wanted to eliminate or limit the amount of fucking casualties that our troops would suffer upon the enemy, because they think that it's more humane to shoot someone in the
Isn't
junk.
that castrating? It's basically
castrating, which is inhumane, but also there are arteries there on both sides. You get off by fucking just a little bit, and they end up having to bleed out rather than have a quick humane death.
It's funny when their policies.
I'm not.
Are worse.
I've never been in the armed forces, but I was a math major. If you aim at a downward angle with a projectile, the amount of casualties you will incur seems to like go up precipitously. You don't want to aim. You want to aim center mass. Period.
Yeah, because otherwise it will go.
But if you aim for the head, at least it's up, so you're not going to really hit much. But if you aim down,
if it's in the gut,
so if you aim down and you hit, like if you hit a head, it's still like a mass-filled object. If you hit like somebody's junk. It's going to go right through it. It's not even going to shatter the bullet, wouldn't you think?
South Park said it right. You don't shoot guys in the dick.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but I'm saying like it's going down, it's going to ricochet and it's going to shatter and it's going to hurt people. Like, why would you do that?
I mean, if you're looking at that, I mean, there's a possibility if you miss the head, you're also got an upper
No.
angle
It should always be center mass. That I know. Yeah, but I'm saying
there's that. But
what's better, up or down? I don't know, because
no matter what, it's some pencil pushing fucking pussy leftist who doesn't understand combat or even how guns work. That you want to stop the enemy, not be humane about it in any way, shape, or form. Shooting someone's dick off or possibly hitting a fucking femoral artery is not humane, rather than putting them out of their misery as fast as possible and shoot them in the fucking head. But these people don't understand that, and these people are writing the doctrine for a fucking military.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
What it is that
make the army great again.
They have 2 different missions. So if you're on a mission and you're supposed to do a thing, eliminate whatever or get through, the road or whatever the deal is, you're doing that. The person telling them, "Oh, go buy our handbook, go buy whatever," their mission is to spread a PR campaign. The PR campaign from above is different from your objective that's right in front of you. So it doesn't make any sense to have two conflicting visions. You know what I mean by that? Yeah, because there could be some guy in DC, but some guy in Iraq. They're both on the same, military, but they're doing 2 different jobs, and it will never work.
Pierce says so that's so they can help with the transgender surgery.
Well,
that's a quick one.
If I may, if you shoot him in the head, you're basically saving a lot of people out of grief for 42% of the population. So
this is true.
Yeah, this is true. Just cutting to the end there half the time.
Is bayonet trained the same? That's a good question, because we were always trained like you jab, and then you jab him in the head. Now all of a sudden you want to jab him in the fucking groin instead?
That sounds like a communications degree graduate from some university that got into, some cushy spot making field manuals or something like that in DC. I'm just guessing. It's just something like that where it's just like they don't have any understanding.
This is the people they are hiring in our fucking Department of Defense. These are the people they are hiring. It thinks it better to shoot someone's dick off rather than shoot them in the fucking head and end them.
Man, we're in a weird timeline.
Retard alert! Retard alert, class!
They're retards. They absolutely are. And they're running our fucking military.
What's funny is
this is knife hands, all right? I'm getting fucking pissed.
Yeah, there you go. Adam, the funny thing would be like they probably just like Kathleen Kennedy and Star Wars and everybody in Disney right now, they think that they're doing the right thing. They're like, everything's going great. Oh, they're just those guys over there. They're just complaining. They complain about everything. It's like, no, you're fucking stuff up, and we're trying to help you correct things. They're like, no, everything's going according to plan, or like, oh, I'm all good. I did my little typey type, and I said, do this, don't do that. Now I'm gonna go to happy hour or my per diem or whatever the deal is. Yeah, it's we're just getting weaker by the generation.
You're exactly right. It's the same exact thing. Like I mean, we say it all the time that
Not on my watch.
that pop culture is downstream from politics, and you're absolutely right that they keep on losing money. They keep on doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. And in the military, they keep on losing troops. So the fucking recruitment is going down, but they keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. At what fucking point are we going to realize that what you're doing is wrong?
The only answer I know is when the money runs out. So when the investor money with Hollywood or the whatever when that stuff runs out, they'll start to change the course and be like, we have to go back to making good quality films or shows or whatever with people that care about it under a good budget. That's the only thing that'll change is when, it just gets back to the actual creative people and the people that like the material. And then with the military, I don't know. They keep raising taxes. So as long as they keep raising taxes and going more into debt, we're just going to keep doing this stupid shit. But until our economy goes down. So, and then if it's 35 trillion right now is the national debt. Like how far does that have to go up where it's going to start causing austerity measures? I mean,
how about the idea that they dump $11 million of our tax fucking dollars into Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and his XFL league, which I don't have a problem. I'm a huge fan of the St. Louis Battlehawks and a season ticket holder. But as soon as I start seeing Army ads on there all over the fucking place, and every single game, twice in a game, once for each half, you had to listen to some troop get pulled out there, doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about, sounds like a complete fucking idiot as an ad campaign, and then all this millions of dollars to go to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson for something like it was something like 4 social media posts or something like that. He only did 1 or 2. The entire $11 million campaign had a net negative of recruitment. Not only do we not get any new recruits, we lost recruits as a result of wasting the money on this because they're fucking morons.
Yeah, so they're spending more money because they had bad recruiting policies or military, army, whatever policies that changed a lot in the last 4 years, 8 years, and now they're paying more money, spending more money because recruiting's down. Oh, and not to mention a lot of people like left the military, either resigned their commission, just ETS'd, took retirement early because they didn't want to go along with a lot of these policies that is actually making the military, the army, weaker. And they know it. They're like, we're not going to play these games, all these mandatory trainings. Like in my last couple of drills years, the main thing was get through all these like sexual assault classes, all these things. They took away privileges, be like, you can't go off base anymore, or no alcohol. It turned it into this just bureaucracy. And then they wonder why people are either getting out or telling their family members, hey, maybe not join right now. I thought you were going to carry on like Mo, like you say, with the family stuff.
My dad
don't
told
do
me
it
not
now.
to.
I know a lot of people are saying don't do it. Like I would have said it before.
No, my dad told me not to because he was way ahead of the curve. Like he understood that W was a piece of shit.
And that has an impact when you lose.
My dad did not want to throw me into the meat grinder.
Yeah, so when you lose somebody of like 20 years or 15 years of like a good quality NCO soldier officer, and they're just like, nope, I'm gonna go do something different. If you're gonna play these games, that has a huge ripple effect. So maybe he was gonna go for this one position, and somebody lesser made that top position because that guy went out. Then it has a huge impact, and we're feeling the effects now.
Dude, Moves America thinks he's gonna get hazed for having this point. He says recruiting is down because too many at the top are more worried about pronoun usage and meatball surgeries than being the tip of the spear. Dude, you're right. Trust me. If you're new here, trust me, you belong here, buddy. You are 100% fucking right. I've been pointing this out for a long damn time. We actually had undercover video of the chief DEI NCO of, I know it's a lot of fucking acronym letters for somebody who's maybe not in the military. You know what DEI is though. He is on record in a fucking hidden cam thing saying that DEI is killing the Navy. He's the top guy for the Navy, that is. And he says that he will still push it. Even if Trump becomes president, he will still keep on pushing DEI, diversity within the Navy, even though he admits it is pointless. No one in the Navy likes DEI except for the top chief, the top senior officer, who is a DEI hire herself. She's the only one that likes it in the fucking Navy. Everyone else, even the fucking lefties, knows it's bullshit. But
they're fake jobs, just like in Hollywood. Hollywood and a lot of other companies right now, they're getting rid of these DEI, what do they call it? Chief Diversity Officer, like
CEO, something like that.
Like all these really, like, I don't know how much they're making, 100,000, $500,000,
way more than that.
You know,
so much.
Depending on the level,
200,000 on average. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have had unfortunate, deeply close dealings with DEI.
But their fake job, you know, it's a job that doesn't provide anything to the customer. It keeps things at the company in a certain atmosphere. Yeah. And the customer feels it, the employee feels it. I'm not going to assume, but it's not something that adds value to the company or Hollywood, or in our case, the military. Or it's a sitting position that does no value. It's assumed value, you know, something like
or if you're part of the Secret Service and you whip out your tit to feed your kid instead of protecting the leader of the free world. Not to go that far, but DEI is bullshit. All right, it's to lift up people that it's like they're. And if you don't like my opinion on unions, fine. I don't care. I'm right. You're wrong. It's okay. Yeah, my dad always said unions are for people who need them, and he's right. It's for people that just can't fucking get it done all by themselves. DEI is for people that just could not pass the muster in any way, shape, or form. Nobody cares if they had an exemplary 6'2" woman who could block a bullet from Trump. But if you have some kind of fucking midget that hides behind the president, it's like literally. I don't mean to be disrespectful to people in the Secret Service or in the Army or anything, but part of your job description is, are you a big enough meat shield to absorb bullets? Like, seriously, am I wrong about that? That's kind of part of the description.
If you're in the military, okay, so there's always the discussion that's been going on for a long time since they started allowing women into combat arms. I've said this many times on here. When I was deployed with the Marines, I just in support. I was 9-year Army. Okay, don't anyone think I'm trying to say I was a Marine. I've never said it anyways. Fuck the Marines. Kidding, love you guys. But no, there was a fucking.
They love crayons. I heard
they love crayons. Who doesn't love crayons? You know, who doesn't love your school bus, right? Shut up, Hillary. Kamala, whatever. Anyways, my point is, the gym I went to in Iraq with this Marine unit, there was a woman in there that if it weren't for the long hair and a bun and some form of tit sticking out, you would swear it was a dude. She was like, I'm 6'3". She was like my height, beefed up like a motherfucker. She is a rare example of a woman who could probably most likely hang with the guys. That is very fucking rare. All right. So exactly like you're talking about when it comes to the standard of the roles a person should be in, just like a 5'0" fucking midget dude should also not be on a fucking security detail for Donald J. Trump, who's something like 6'2". They are needed to play as human shields. Okay, the fact that DEI is in place is the only reason why a 5'0" woman was put in that position when she shouldn't have fucking been there. Should have been the fucking ex-Marine who's 6'3" at the fucking gym, looks like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's the person who needs to be on Trump's detail because he's a big fucking guy. DEI is the only reason why a 5'0" chick was there. But I don't care what she has for reproductive organs, whether it's a dude or a woman, that person needs to be in a position to be able to protect Donald J. fucking Trump. And that's not what they got.
Yeah. And that's why it's...
Sorry. Way to alleviate my dismounting of the soapbox there.
I didn't mean to bring that up, but I kind of did because it really annoys me.
No, it's a great point to bring up.
No, yeah, it's a good point. You got to earn it. Like, and it sucks. I just wonder, like, who does anybody want to be known as they are hired based on DEI? Maybe some people do. I would, going back to the stolen valor thing, it's like I wouldn't want to be that guy knowing I was hired because of X amount of X thing, but that has nothing to do with the job.
I'm of two minds.
Background.
Yeah, no, I'm of two minds. I wouldn't want to be that way because I want to make it on my own. I don't like being on anybody. I don't even like being on somebody else's cell phone playing. Like, I was just like, as soon as I was out of the house, I'm like, and this was in 2002. It wasn't like it was fucking cheap to have a cell phone back then, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be indebted to anybody else, period, because I feel like they would have something on me. But on the other hand, if you're like Shaniqua and you're just like, fuck it, if I can game the system and get this job, it's just like, like, I don't think the character isn't like not great character at all, and you'll eventually get screwed over on it. But the people taking advantage of that, it's like, well, shit, they gave you the opening. Like, I don't blame the individual, because if they're just gonna put the bait out in front of you,
it won't be like that forever, though.
No. I'm saying, I don't mind.
Times get tough, which I was saying before.
Yeah.
Like, I follow the stock market economy a lot, just because it's interesting, I guess, when we go through these phases, and it relates to Hollywood and politics and everything else. That, yeah, once that's what I was saying before, was once
that's her name,
these companies are suffering, those are gonna be the first departments to go. The positions be like, man, maybe they'll move them to somewhere else that they can do the job of something that provides value in the company. Otherwise, the company, depending on size, will just go under. Or even if it's a big company, it can get mergers and acquisitions, and then now it's a brand new thing, a part of some, which I won't go into all the Google stuff, but yeah, Google's and YouTube. There's going to be
I have intimate knowledge of these, certainly a Fortune 100 company that they used to be my client. I worked with them for 9 years. They would just have a roving black woman in their company for no fucking reason. They get paid to do nothing.
Nice.
Well,
but
a program starts off a certain way, and there are bad apples, and the longer a program goes on, especially like a government one, or even if it's like an HR one that's not government, but it's in a company, but it's based on rules the government puts in place, that still, you know, is there, and it will grow and it'll mutate, and they'll change the policy and they'll amend it, and before you know it, just like Social Security, it starts off as this good thing, or with a lot of limitations, and they turn into this big bloated whatever, and
and they deserve it.
An hour about the Social Security.
But the individual, if you can make money and you understand, like, hey, I might not agree with it. Like, it's like this weird thing. It's like, I wouldn't do it out of character. I'd rather do construction, and you know, I'd never do it. I had a great gig and I had to turn down because they wanted me to do DEI stuff, and I'm like, I'm not doing this because it's racism. I asked my 7-year-old son at the time, I'm like, hey, they're trying to make me base stuff off of skin color. He's like, that sounds stupid. And I'm like, you're right. So I quit. You know, it's just like, it's, you know, from the mouth of babes come the truth, as they say. But, you know, but it's just like, you can't blame somebody for wanting to get paid. Yeah. I mean, character is what we do when nobody's watching. You shouldn't take the job. But also, if you're like, well, if my choices are working at McDonald's or making $100,000 a year until the company goes under, it's like, you know, I would never do it, but I understand.
And that's when self-control kind of comes in.
Yeah. But when you hire those kind of people, that's the kind of personality that you're getting, which is a clout chasing, money grabbing piece of shit, and you're not going to benefit from it. So,
yep. Okay, guys, I'm getting a little tapped out. I got a few things to do, but yeah.
No, you piece of shit. No, you lazy, malingering motherfucker. You
malingering.
Put on one of those gloves and snap your fingers. Where's the stone of stamina where you can?
Yeah, the stone of stamina.
I wish I had that. I'm telling you, if you know what I mean.
I got more shots to do. Nobody ended up taking off, but Drew, I completely understand, dude. If you got to take off, go ahead and take off, man. Even though
I had a couple rough days, so I'm gonna get some rest, and
I'm still gonna give you shit and call you a pussy.
Do it,
dude. It was an absolute pleasure streaming with you. I wasn't
you too.
planning on tonight, but it was a
stream.
It's been in a while. Well, yeah, I think it was since Dallas. I don't want to keep you up any longer, but
no worries,
bro.
Dude, when you got kicked off X, I'm like, holy shit, they're coming for him. I need to go team up with Alex Jones. You know, getting back on there.
I've been saying for the longest time, we're gonna get Drew more involved in the channel. I know we even talked about a long fucking time ago. I was gonna give him editor privileges, and he could have it's just because I am fucking terrible about this. The only reason, Drew, that we still haven't done it yet.
No worries.
Get on me about this. Send me a fucking message. Fucking remind me. I'll give you those privileges, and maybe we can get you doing like fucking noontime news shit and stuff like that. Stuff I've wanted to do, but just don't have the fucking motivation to even fucking do.
We can
I have a request. Can you
Yes.
get the redheaded anti-liberal on here, and she has to wear her calendar outfit? Is that
Josie.
Okay, green haired answer.
Can you get Josie?
She's actually coming back. She's coming on Saturday. She'll be back on Saturday. Gal's coming back on show on Saturday.
Gal's real. Yeah,
she's been taking a hiatus there, taking things easy, but she was gonna be on tonight.
No, it's a marathon for sure, and it's we do this in the time that we can, and it's enjoyable for sure. But no, yeah, check out my Twitter at Drew Outstanding. YouTube, it's Operation Outstanding in Field. That's where I put up my adaptive sports, everything I went through in 2021. This major illness, Guillain-Barré syndrome, made me paralyzed in a coma for a week. 6 months in the VA. Basically, my whole body, all my systems had to regrow from it's like turning off a computer, turning it back on, hard stop, hard back on. So yeah, everything's getting repaired. So it's taken a couple of years, but I'm showing my progress along the way on that YouTube channel. So it's going to be an adventure.
I just realized that I've got a link for you in the video description, but it's your Twitter, not your YouTube channel. I will make that correction. I'll get that fixed.
No worries. But yeah, thanks for having me. Great conversation. That flew by.
Yep.
That was a lot of fun.
Dude,
you guys keep it going.
Hour and 45 minutes of no topics for this actual show.
Hopefully, I didn't derail it too
one
much.
single listed topic.
Adam, we should clip some of the stuff out. Maybe there's some good, monologues and rants. And
I need other people to do that, man. I don't have the motivation to do that.
We'll talk about it.
Else wants to get out and do that, please do.
Hey, Drew, real quick. Yep. My dad was good friends with Landon Turner, who played for the Hoosiers back in the day. He was a paraplegic. He did wheelchair basketball.
Awesome.
Yeah, I would love to talk with you about like kind of that happening in the 80s and stuff like that. We would growing up in Indiana, but like that kind of stuff is awesome. Also, if you haven't seen the documentary Murder Ball, get on it. It's fucking amazing. It's such a great it's it almost makes you want to get in a wheelchair and because they're out of control, dude.
Yeah, there's stuff. I could go on forever, but yeah, like there's people that have had it worse than us, worse than me, better in different ways. But it's all about getting back out there, figuring out
it's amazing.
How to tell your story, how to make sure your story doesn't end, and just keep the chapters written, and then keep making memories. It builds character. It's tough. I have the toughest days, and then I have a day that I'm glad I met somebody. And like you said, thanking me for my service or got to know them or why the military is important to that person, thanking me. That's a real kind of connection you make on these either events or adaptive sports or being out in the community and Memorial Day, 9/11 coming up, Veterans Day. So yeah, it's keep the conversation going, guys. I'll have a good one.
Oh yeah, thank you very much, Drew Outstanding, everybody. Be sure, again, check out his channels, check out his Twitters. I'm sure he's got the links for his YouTube channel in there. I got to get that fixed. I have a template for everyone, so they got the YouTube channels and everything on there. I'm gonna have to add you on, Mo, also, because I know you're. I love having you on, dude. I got to get you on more often, man.
I appreciate it. I wish I could. I'm just.
I'm not saying all the time, just whenever you can.
Okay, I see how it is. Anyway,
no, it's good. So when you can. All right, I got to get down here to a super chat. $20 by Blue Cord Devil. Had a female mechanic, 5'2". She asking to carry my pig, the M60, for a 12-mile road march. I said, okay. I'm sure with a giggle. She made the whole 12 miles. She would max out the male PT test. She would change 5-ton rear tire by herself. That's fucking awesome, dude. That's what I'm saying. There's not all the women out there are totally weak. Now, we can go through all the debates on, the conflict that you'd end up having because, there's going to be people wanting to fucking bang and everything else. A big thing, the hygiene thing, the issues that they have with that, a whole nother conversation. But nonetheless, if they're not physically fit to do the same job as the men, they should not be in the men's job. That's the bottom fucking line of it. Everything else we can have another discussion about, but yeah. And like we're saying, Secret Service detail, you need somebody who is the same size, if not bigger, than Donald J. Trump or whoever the protectee is. That fucking little 5 foot nothing who looked like somebody said the joke here looks like Melissa McCarthy, I think it was. Should have been on like Harris's detail. You want DEI, put her on fucking Kamala Harris's detail. She's the same size. No, you put an incompetent person who's smaller than Trump on Trump's detail. You want us to look at that and think that that's not somehow on purpose? I don't know.
Yeah, that
it
feels
feels
YouTube,
like it's on
right?
purpose.
Yeah. All right.
Let's take a rocket shot here.
Oh, I need to refresh. So if you could wax philosophical while I take like 2 minutes to refresh my drink.
Oh, I gotta wait on you now. Okay. Well,
That's right.
You want to go get? Are you getting a shot?
I can. I'll just get
screw
the
that. I'm gonna take. You go do what you gotta do. I'm gonna take a shot here. I'm gonna play a video.
I'll play catch up.
Let's do the. Oh, you know, I'm gonna do two videos in a row because I just realized that these two work very well for each other. Here's the AT4 shot.
Don't move, Proctor. Don't move.
And here's one that I haven't played in a while. Watch in the background. I think I've got to do something to amplify this. Because it's kind of hard to tell, but there's a fucking rocket that goes off behind it. But thank you very much, Blue Cord Devil, for the $20. Much appreciated. Cheers to you, buddy. All right, let me see what you guys are saying in here in the chat. I appreciate all you guys, man. Like I said before, we haven't had a regular schedule of our Thursday show and our Saturday show in a while. It's been basically whatever's coming up, whatever I got time for, even just what I feel like doing at the time is the show that we're going to end up doing. And the last time I did a Thursday Knife Hand show was back when Biden, I think it was right after the Biden-Trump debate. So that was a long fucking time ago. So I appreciate the fact that we had so many people in here relative to what I expected, which I expected there was going to be very few. But let me remind everyone out there, we're going to be doing many shows. I'm going to try to do Knife Hands on Thursday and Skinamax every single Saturday again, but also a mix of other shows along the week. And every single show now is at 8 Eastern. Okay. Used to be 10 o'clock Eastern for Thursday and Saturday. Every single show now is all at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central for me. So try to keep that in mind, guys. That's the new times. I appreciate you guys so much. So many people out there. Appreciate you guys popping in. I'll highlight your new one here. But Wayne Rowe, all saying, Blue Cord, you fucking rock, dude. Popping up another $5 here. Only problem with her was she had her hairier. She had hairier armpits than me, dude.
Yo, I came back at exactly the wrong time, but hey, you know,
hard
but not impossible. Nobody's gonna blame you.
Chug. Oh, hairier armpits and then that's a woman who has no problem being a dude, and that's all fine. I don't care. Hey, if you're a woman, you're out there in the field with the dudes, you're actually holding your own. If something goes down and you actually have the ability to fireman carry one of your fellow troops out of the battlefield, fucking hardcore, man. Even if you're a woman, then I'm okay with it. Like I said, there's a lot of other issues. A lot of other issues that require discussion, but
yeah,
the physical thing is my biggest thing, though.
My thing is just get the best person for the job. There's men that are,
yes,
as my dad would say, is my favorite word. It's not the F word, but it sounds better. It's winky tanks. You call them winky tanks. Just people of high soy and estrogen, men of high soy and estrogen. Like there's a bunch there are men that are winky tanks. And then there's I know a woman, she trained firefighters and she was a great firefighter for like 20 years. Like she was an exception 100%. Right. And it's just like, I just want to work with the best people. If you're not working with the best people, it's a liability That's the problem. Reducing liability should be the point of your company, your organization, anything. If they become too much of a liability and they cancel out the rest of them, then they should be gone, period. And if you don't like that, then I don't know what to tell you.
If a woman wants to go into infantry, I know the way things been going as far as the training goes. They've been making a lot of they've been allowing the women to go through schools that are combat related with lower standards, which is absolutely wrong. If you're at the unit, if that's the way the fucking training doctrine wants to do it, and you end up at your unit, like let's say we get a female infantry, an infantry specialist at 74th Infantry Long Range Surveillance Detachment of the 173rd Airborne Brigade, and she can't fucking ruck the way we ruck. She can't fucking carry our heaviest fucking troop. Then she needs to be assigned as a radio operator. She needs to be assigned to headquarters, working as an assistant to the first sergeant or the company commander. She should not be in the fucking field. She's a liability who will get people killed.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
And it's like thing to say. If we have a fucking dude, it's the same fucking thing. If you can't do the same fucking standards, then either you're gonna be behind a fucking radio, behind a desk, or you're getting the fuck out.
Yeah, sorry. Peter Santos just had a wonderful misspelling. He said she must have been Porto Roxanne. I don't know why it's so
Porto Roxanne, but then they correct Tariq in here.
I know, but Porto Roxanne is so like it seems like
Roxanne.
And you don't have to put on the red light. Dude, no, but
put on the rucksack. Roxanne.
Man, when the wind blows, my dick gets hard. That's one of the best movies ever. It's 48 hours, people. But no,
dude,
but
I've got to take a piss, dude. I'm sorry to leave you hanging by yourself. So
this is only the second time you've done it. At least you'll come back. So
as soon as possible.
Hello, everybody. I am your resident civilian that has not contributed anything except for discourse and trying to defend the wild and wonderful defenders of this country. We love you all, honestly. So yeah. Adam and I met at MegaCon Orlando. We were in line waiting for Rippaverse. I personally was waiting to talk to Carolyn because she's based as fuck. She lost a job because she had conservative values. So love Carolyn, but we got to talking, and if you guys don't know the story, Star Wars Theory thought that Adam and I were twins. I don't know what that says about either one of us, but that's the case. I'm exactly the same height as Adam. So we are, yeah, he's good people. I'm glad I got to meet him. That's a wonderful thing about going to these meetups. If you're part of the fellowship, get to a meetup. Even if I only went for like a day, but it's totally worth it. So, but to all the people in the chat, while he's going to take a piss, and it's a whiskey piss, so it might be a while. I thank all of you for everything that you've done for this country. And if you're just a part of the chat and you're part of Adams or Vets Talking Chat, you're amazing. It's always a pleasure to be on this stream. So
love having you, dude.
I love being here. My twin.
By the way, fucker, I didn't take off to piss twice now. The first time was just to put a little fucking spout on my fucking whiskey bottle here because it was dribbling all over the place.
Oh, no. I was talking about the time where we decided to go shot for shot, and everybody decided to drop like tons of super chats.
Oh, yeah. That's
yeah,
right.
that was a fun morning. And I was like, he's dead. Because Adam didn't get back to me for 3 days, and I'm like, he's dead. Like I killed him. He's like, oh, I'm fine. You know, I shouldn't have doubted his power, but I was just like, when you ducked out, dude, because it was hot as fuck that night. I remember that. You were like sweating your ass off.
Really?
Like, yeah, because you're like my AC isn't working, and I'm like, I gotta go to. You're going to Vegas. That's right. You're going to Vegas soon.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was on with Common Nerd, and Common Nerd was preparing every level of herbal refreshment, if I may say.
Yeah.
And so we're on stream, and he's like chill, and I'm like, okay. It was like the second stream I've ever been on in my life, pretty much. It was Horror Amarada, then another channel I don't want to bring up, but and then it was like that was like my second guest hosting thing, and I'm like, holy shit, and I'm like pissed drunk, and the Common Nerd is like geeked out of his fucking mind, and it was so hilarious. He's like, hey, what's up with that voice? And like, you just kind of ducked out and I'm like, what do we do now? Like I had a shirt wrapped around my head. It was a fun night though. It was really fun.
I gotta look back on that episode.
Oh,
man.
dude, it was great. There's so many memes, unfortunately, that came out of that for at least my side of the situation. I think you avoided most of it.
Hey, it happens, man. It happens.
Yeah, it's great. No, if you meme me, that means you love me. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. So.
And I've had people who were like so big and like hyped up about the fact that they get memed when they come on here, and then after a few more times coming on, all of a sudden they regret it.
Go hard and go often. If you if you're laughing at me or with me, it doesn't matter. If you're having a good time, I don't give a shit. I have a thick skin. I really don't care.
What's up, Ruben Hale? He says, sorry, I've been making soy boys cry on X. Now, you definitely don't need to apologize for that. I fucking love that.
Do share.
Westward Smile says, thought we met at the glory hole. I guess he's saying that we went suck dick, but no, we didn't. No.
Well, you didn't have to play the song to commemorate the occasion, but you know, I guess.
Oh no, it's dude, you know what's amazing is that like the conversation went so great tonight. I'm like, I don't even want to go to these actual topics that I have, because it's like I've got the Trump shooter one where we actually know the route now, where the shooter went around to get on the roof. We talk about the fucking British cop who's threatening Americans about posting bad content. They couldn't incite violence. Okay, bitch, little fucking pussy. Instead, I was gonna pull this up as a fucking just as a joke, as a to break up the seriousness. This actually, I meant to pull this up fucking like a while ago. Sexual harassment campaign for the British Army, portraying what I think is a black Muslim dude being sexually harassed by a hot chick.
He's like, you are not 12.
Yeah. There's a comment. There's a comment up here somewhere. Where was it? There's something about this is a harem. I already have 4 wives. That's that one. Do you think women can be predators? I love this one right here. It says, plot twist: she just got back from a week in the field with no shower.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the accurate one right there. Like, nah, you're that stinks there, right? Fucking you.
I mean, that's never been a roadblock, but you know, I know somebody that would have been into it is what's his name? Steve 1989. I bet he's had one of those MREs. Some VREs, if I may.
Oh yeah, the one you're talking about. Yeah, that's eating the ones that from like World War II and shit like that.
I feel like that's what it's like, especially in the 82nd Airborne. I feel like they're all about the VRE, not about a well-cooked meal. They're just like,
oh, dude, I've been on these like. Okay, 2 times I specifically remember we went a long time. I did an entire tour in the box, and no, I ain't talking about sniffing this fucking nasty pussy here, which I'm sure is what they're pointing out here. 2 weeks in the box at in Hohenfels, Germany. Didn't shower at all. Got back and I knew I fucking sung. At that point, I didn't care. After like 3 or 4 days, like, I don't even fucking care anymore.
No, it's just what do they call it? Fuck it.
You're just like acclimated to it. Yeah, like the stink and everything. It's like being in Arizona, 120 degrees. You just acclimate to it eventually. You're used to it. And then during the invasion of Iraq, we went, I think, a full month before we had somebody set up something where we could do a shower. That we were doing this thing where we're pouring water jugs over and just like trying to wash our hair as best as possible. And other than that, everything else is just like, who cares? But that's like the fucking worst. But you end up getting used to that kind of thing. But yeah, trying to hang around some nasty ass fucking stank pussy though is that's a little different there. Something smells fishy. That's for absolutely sure. Wayne Rowe for $5. Thank you, buddy. Says if the British are telling us telling us how to tweet, can we give them back Prince Harry and his wife? That's enough of a threat to keep them quiet for a while. I think he said. Yeah, that's enough to keep them quiet for a while. You're absolutely right, dude. 100%. 100%.
Westward Smile. That's my. That's me.
nose blind.
I'm
That's
nose
right.
blind. I'm nose blind. It's fucking it's there.
Thank for the 5 there, Wayne Rowe. That's with the social. By the way, I got something to say to that British cop. It says you wanna threaten us? You want to threaten us for breaking your anti-freedom of speech laws? I think a lot of people have been saying this lately. You want round 3, motherfucker? I'm just going to leave that right there. I'm just going to leave that right there with that statement.
Nice.
You want round 3? What a fucking these motherfuckers that are so fucking entitled. They're so heads up their fucking ass that they think they can threaten anyone to go to jail for any fucking reason they deem necessary, including Americans. To be clear, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna play a fucking clip. Since we're down this fucking rabbit hole, I'll pull the clip up. I'm not gonna play it. It's like a whole 5 minutes on here, but I'm not gonna play it. It's only
Come
like
on,
30
do
seconds.
it. Do it, Adam. Come on.
Only like 30 seconds for this one part where this motherfucker gets asked a question about people like Elon Musk posting what they want to claim to be like some like hate speech. And this motherfucker.
Can we not play first? Can we, like, seriously? It has to look like he has to be able to grow a beard, if at all possible. All right.
No, because he's even a pussy can grow some fucking hair on his face. No, this little motherfucker can't even do that. Just how much of a bitch he is.
That because we have seen some high-profile figures whipping up the hatred. You talked about it in there with the officers, in fact, about this being added to by online commentary. I mean, I'm even thinking of the likes of Elon Musk getting involved. What are you considering when it comes to dealing with people who are whipping up this kind of behavior from behind a keyboard, maybe in a different country?
Being a keyboard warrior does not make you safe from the law. You can be guilty of offences of incitement, of stirring up racial hatred. There are numerous terrorist offences regarding the sort of publishing of material. All of those offences are in play if people are provoking hatred and violence on the streets, and we will come after those individuals just as we will physically confront on the streets the thugs and the yobs who are causing the problems for communities.
And on that note,
Oh, yeah, the bitch.
My Browning's upstairs. Otherwise, I'd have it.
Come at me, bro. Come at me. I fucking dare you. Please do it.
Look at that.
You hear he breaks that fucking down. He breaks that down. She's talking specifically about American citizens, talking about Elon Musk. Oh, you're a keyboard warrior. No matter where you are or what you do, you're breaking the law and you're promoting terroristic acts. No, I'm not. No, I'm sitting here expressing my freedom of speech, which I am protected by in this fucking country. Come at me and try to tell me I'm breaking your fucking law. You want round 3?
You got it.
We're ready.
Here's the thing. This stupid ass old queen doesn't understand what he's doing. His ability to arrest people for speech
It's because they don't have this.
It's true. And that's the
They
whole
don't have
reason
that.
why they implemented that. But the problem is that he has a shield between his speech and the people he's talking to, like the keyboard warriors that he's talking about. If he was in America, he wouldn't say none of that shit.
Nope.
So the problem is, and I've done papers and reports on this, like it's the same thing as road rage. When you have a layer of protection between you and the other person, a lot of people can't handle that. They're just going to be a dick bag to people that they don't agree with. You know, he deserves to be thrown in the dumpster fuck you, you fucking old queen. You look like Tim Cook on like a bad day. All right, fuck you. You know, I'm just saying. And he's pretty fucking gay looking. But my whole thing is just like the thing about America with a vast majority of the country, even people that don't vote the same way as we do, they still hold really strong family values and things like that, and they will abstain from talking shit like that. Which the only reason there's a reason why the First Amendment is the First Amendment and the Second Amendment is the Second Amendment, and it is reciprocal. All right, people. Yeah, seriously. Like if I hold my gun at low ready and you think you're offended by that, you're a pussy. All right. And you should probably shut the fuck up at that point. You know, if you think you're a tough guy, you should not be talking shit unless you're ready to deal with the consequences. I miss the days where you could just punch people in the face in Minecraft for things that they said. I've enjoyed.
I miss the day when we could just tell fucking jokes on here, which actually reminds me, I've got a Sam Kinison clip that somebody sent me.
Oh, yay, Sam Kinison.
I'll have to pull that up here. Absolutely. But yeah, I do want to make the point though, like you're saying though, our First Amendment is protected by the Second Amendment, which means we have this right here to protect us. That's why I'm even saying right here, right now, I'm not threatening anything. I am making a promise though. You come at me and try.
Look what happened to Australia. Australia gave up their rights to guns, and they got thrown in a camp that you concentrate in for a cold.
Yeah, and the same thing where you've got these motherfuckers who can make those kind of claims, like that little fucking bitch ass boy, queen that you're talking about over there in Great Britain, who's what's great about it anymore. They can say that because they know they have nothing to be afraid of. They have no fear of their citizens. When the citizens are afraid of their government, you have tyranny. When the government fears the citizens, you have freedom. That government, that country out there has no fucking freedom. At least here, there's some fear to some degree. They can't come out and say that kind of shit, even though they're trying. They're getting out there. They're saying it. And more often than not, what's happening is that our media now, which is completely just fighting for the fucking totalitarians, are covering it up whenever they say stupid shit like that. Long time ago, man, how many decades ago? Can't remember her name. She died not that long ago. Congresswoman Feinstein.
The mummy. Essentially,
the mummy. Said if I had 51% of the vote, then I would do it. Mr. and Mrs. America, turn them all in. Talking about guns. If she had 51% of the vote, she would absolutely push for it to have every single gun in America taken away. You can fuck right off, you fucking totalitarian bitch. That ain't gonna fucking fly here. That shit does not fucking fly in America because we have our constitutionally protected rights. We need to keep on fucking maintaining that. I am not putting this up here as a threat. I'm putting.
By the way, they're not.
I will fight for my fucking rights.
Hell yeah, they're protected rights. They're not given rights. It's basically they're acknowledging the fact that God gave us this, and that's it. Basically, the government is supposed to be like, whoa, no, like back off. I like people can say like, well, like anarchist capitalism is a thing, but it's just like we're fallen people. We just can't function like that. If we could work off that would be great. But they're just not like government. I don't like government at all. My dad was a libertarian. I'm a libertarian. Small L, not the fucking retards that go on stage with their tits hanging out. You know what I mean? Like it's just like but you have to push that line to get to move the needle. You can't just meet in the middle. Like people are talking about meeting in the middle. Meeting in the middle is still retarded and idiotic right now. We need to push towards like the empty of ridiculousness part of the needle. We need to be like 90% that direction and 10% the other direction. I'm not saying that conservatives or libertarians or anybody has the right idea, but the liberals are off their fucking, they're out of their mind, and
they're not liberals anymore. Yeah, when you're
talking they're not liberals. Totally.
When you're talking about being met in the middle, it's the same thing like we're talking about with Roseanne Barr, who has always been a classical liberal, and she, this is years ago, like right when she got canceled, where like whoever the fuck Stephen Colbert, some fucktard, was saying, I thought you used to be a leftist. She says, I am still a leftist, but y'all went so far left, you left me behind, and that's absolutely the case. Now, as far as where the line has moved, now she's actually right wing. There is no fucking middle. The middle is is way the fuck over on the left now.
Yeah.
Anyone who is a centrist is considered right wing to these fucking psychopath leftists.
For you and me, Adam, I think you would agree with this. Populism was always a left thing up until like about what 15 years ago, pre-Obama. Like being a populist, like the power belongs with the people. And I'm not saying I would have voted for a Democrat, but it was more like it was left of center, not right of center. Like right now, it's like almost like way right of center, which is just ridiculous. It just makes no sense to me. Yeah. Like you know, because our parents were hippies, or if they weren't, they knew hippies, and all they wanted was just like leave me the fuck alone. I hate the corporations.
Classical liberalism.
Classical liberalism is great.
Yes.
But the great thing is because of all of the extreme leftism, is that all of that you know, that what do you call it? Damn it.
You know the thing.
The thing. Come on, man. Yeah. No, the populism. Yeah, I'm sorry. The populism is now has adhered itself to conservative values, which is the best version of that, because I have certain beliefs on certain things as far as like a woman's body, which, by the way, if you're listening, a baby inside your body, that's a completely unique version of DNA. It's not your fucking body.
Yeah, that's
so yeah. So if we're gonna go technical and by the law, it ain't your body. You have been tasked by God with one of the most amazing things ever, and if you don't like it, well, then keep your legs closed. Fuck off. Sorry.
Yeah,
I know it's a bit deep, but yeah.
Oh man, I could go down a whole nother rabbit hole. Let's fucking take a break here real quick for a shot for Blue Cord Devil for not 20. Says bring back those red coats. They make great targets. My forefathers thought so. My family has been here since 1654. Fucking A, dude.
Fucking A, dude.
Hell yeah, man. Do I got any good patriotic ones? I don't think I have any just regular good patriotic take a shot ones. So instead of that, let's just say
I'm sorry for all my sweaty mix that came over about 150 years later.
Yeah,
but we appreciate it.
What? Where did this fucking clip go? It's way up here somewhere. I've got so many clips now. I need to reorganize it. Here we go. America, fuck yeah! Cheers, Blue Cord.
I got the best clips. Adam's got the best clips. They're the best.
They're the best clips. Some say they're better than the best clips in the world. I say they're just great clips, but some people say they're the best.
Adam knows the best words. He knows the best words.
Adam is actually, I know some people say he's a functional retard. I say he's the greatest.
I don't like using that word, but it kind of applies sometimes.
You are simple jack.
Yeah, sometimes I am. Yeah, holy fuck, dude. Yeah, this is the entire thing. I went on this I think actually weren't you the other day, you were talking about all the shorts that I did when I was on my trip through Wisconsin.
Holy shit. I was just thinking about that. I'm like, I have never wanted to go close to the Canadian border less in my life. It's just like, it just looks like the worst people in America live there. Like you're just like every thumbnail for your short is like this. You're like, yeah, you're just like hate fucking the camera, and it's great. But it's just like I watch it and I'm like, why are you here?
It's not that bad. I love Wisconsin. Green Bay is a based red area. Obviously, not everybody is there, but it's a Republican area. Wisconsin in general is obviously very mixed. Madison and Milwaukee are extremely fucking left, but the whole rest of the state is very based. But just like leftists always do, they always love going to the pretty areas where they can be around other sophisticated people. So I learned the hard way that the thumb of Wisconsin, being Door County, is pretty fucking liberal. It's a very beautiful area, a lot of classical shit up there. Having grew up in a place like Vermont where they do whatever they can to make it seem old school and very nice and everything, I saw through it completely. It's just nothing but a money grab for people who want to go up there and live that pretty life. Yeah, I encountered so many fucking idiots, and the worst encounter of the entire trip was when I was at Washington Island, which is an island just off the tip of the thumb in between.
Those were my
Wisconsin
favorite videos.
and the Upper
Those were so
Peninsula.
fucking hilarious. You were like you were like, I have never seen somebody. You're not a person that gets defeated too easily, but you're just like, I fucking just send me shots, send me super chats talking about shots.
I was well, and also that wasn't the case. It was just simply a short, it was just a 60-second video. But I was defeated in the fact that I was enjoying myself so much, even at that bar where I was hanging out. Everyone I hung out with, multiple fucking people. I had these people who were like, what did they? I told them I was up there for YouTube stuff, and they said they never even followed anybody on YouTube, but they're gonna follow me, and everything was fucking great. And this one guy wants to talk about abortion. And I'm like, I would normally not do this at all, but it's already like 2:00 in the morning. The bar was fucking empty. He had leftist ideas, but was willing to have a very decent conversation with me. And then he brings the bartender in. And this was the mistake. He said, hey, you should come be a part of this conversation because you're a woman. And therefore you should have your voice heard or some shit like that. And I went into the constitutionality about it. Nothing else. Just simply the constitutionality. I explained it to them if they weren't already aware that the Constitution includes, and somebody tell me which amendment. I keep on wanting to think it's the 14th Amendment, but I feel like that's wrong. The amendment that clearly says that anything that is not clearly defined in the Constitution is the rights of the state. It's not verbatim, but
I think it's 14th. Yeah.
I think it's the 14th.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
This dude who, like I said, super decent guy. He was very reasonable, actually want to have a decent conversation, was in complete agreement with me. She lost her fucking mind. She couldn't help herself, even though the whole night we had a great time. We were joking, we were doing shots, we had all this great conversation, everything. I was talking to her about the channel. I didn't tell anyone about my political leanings on the channel. I just told them it was a military channel because I don't do that. I'm like, if you want to check it out. But I'll let you figure out about the political side of things. But she lost her fucking mind. I kept telling her, look, this is the Constitution, and she could not get away from herself, away that fucking matrix mindset she has. That, well, what about this situation? What about if it's rape or incest? That's not the point. And even he started defending me. He's like, no, that's no, wait. He's trying to be nice about it. That's not what he's talking about.
10th Amendment. I looked it up. Yeah.
And she could not stop. And it got to a point where she eventually goes, all these MAGA fucks. And I'm like, I pulled out my wallet, put my card out, said, cash me out. I'm one of those MAGA fucks.
Yeah, heaven forbid we want to return to a time where the family, the nuclear family is held above all as the ultimate goal of anybody in this country, which it fucking should be. All right, it is better than gold, better than money, better than anything else on this earth. Get married to a good woman, procreate, and put the voters into the world that we need. Don't raise these fucking idiots that are on their tablets all the time.
Yeah, and all that is great, but I mean, I still just like even in this entire conversation that I had with this woman, because believe me, I understand you.
And come in your wife's head sometimes, because you gotta have fun. But
nonetheless, yeah, the point is still that I just still hang on to the legal aspect of it. Nothing got repealed. The abortion was not repealed. Nobody's talking about banning it. Trump is not talking about banning it. Both of them try to talk about the Project 2025, which is not Trump. That's something that got started a long time ago, many years ago, not associated with Trump in any way, shape, or form. They try to tell me, well, this is what Trump's going to do. I'm like, no, it's not. And both of them try to argue, well, no, because it's attached to Trump. No, it's not. Look it up. I should have thought, like, when I made that video, when I made that 60-second clip, which is me back in my hotel room, just trying to drink a beer. Like I said, I wasn't defeated by these people. I was defeated by the fact that I'm so sick and tired of the fact that I can sit there, have a good time with these people, and then they lose their fucking mind and just ruin everything.
And
they
that's the
can't
thing.
get out of their own way. They fucking ruin everything.
I totally agree. And that's why people love Joe Rogan, is because he's willing to have a conversation. His takes are they smell about as good as that one guy who carried that shit pussy. Like, it was just like, they're not good, but he's willing to hear you out and have a conversation. The whole thing about America is, we used to be built on debates. You go to a bar, or as they used to call it, a salon. You go to the bar, you grab a drink, and you would talk, in good faith, and you would debate about certain aspects of the day, and you would whittle down what the best course of action was. The problem is that people live in confirmation bias now, because they found the dopamine hit that is the internet, and you have to avoid that. That's why Elon Musk and Donald Trump on Twitter, without any video, has hit harder than anything in recent memory, is because it's just no facial expressions, no inferences of what they're thinking at that point. It's just two people talking, which is exactly what this country was founded on. It's like, talk about ideas. If they can't survive, they won't survive. If there's part of it that will survive, it will survive partially. But these people hide behind echo chambers, and fuck them, and it goes on both sides. It's obviously like about 90% on the left because they're a bunch of pussies, and 10% on the right because we still have the religious right, who are fucking assholes. They're, don't get me wrong.
Let's be careful when it comes to like the religious right. We're talking about the extreme ones.
Yeah,
like the Bible says, "Thou shalt not lay with another man," or something like that. And then especially the ones that are out there, like they're gonna go to hell and everything.
Yeah,
like, dude, okay,
no.
Dial it back a little bit is all we're saying.
No, I'm saying perfect example is from when we were growing up. You know what I'm talking about. It's people that would protest outside of Marilyn Manson. It's like, really?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those people, they would go way too hard in the paint, and you're like, stop it. You're like hurting. You're hurting like what we're trying to go for.
Exactly.
Here,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about I'm a devout Christian. I have been saved by God. I'm not trying to say like religious. But religion in and of itself, like if you have to like do certain things to be saved, it's not a good thing. And these people cling on to that. And it's what it is on both sides. I think you would agree, Adam, is Puritanism. Is like you have to like absolve yourself from stuff, and you can never be clean in Puritanism, which is why it's awful, which is why we left Britain and came to America, is because Puritanism was the worst.
Right.
And there was more Puritanism than the Puritans that came over here on Plymouth Rock. Yeah, that's the crazy part. Yeah,
those people, they left over there because here's another thing that's very big as a misconception. I've been meaning to pull this up as a part of a conversation for a show for a while. Is the misconception of what the separation of church and state really means? It doesn't mean we're separating the church from the state. It means we're taking the state out of the church, because England back in the day was telling people what they could preach and what they couldn't preach. The state was controlling the church, and then modern day has completely reversed that, because they're anti-religion, anti-Christian. They've been taking every single imagery and saying you can't have this here because of separation church and state. That was never the origination of that fucking rule.
No, it was basically to have like your norms and your mores, like what you consider to be the best way to go about life. If you want to be like a LGBTQ LMNOP, well, guess what? You are engaging in deviant behavior, and that is not an indignation. Well, it is for me, but I'm just saying, like, deviant, which means it remember, is different. I'm
friends with Mike Harlow. You watch what you say, motherfucker.
I'm fucking say what I want to. All right,
you're allowed to say whatever you want.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, like, deviant behavior is literally like a mathematical term. It means that it is totally different from the norm, which is what most people are married, they have children, or they're single, or they're heterosexual. Normative behavior is you should strive to want to have a family, you want to have, but they've been trying to obfuscate that, and that's why I have such a problem with it. It's like, if you want to do something in your bedroom, fine. I'm not going to judge you. But if you're going to come out here and you're going to go on pride parades with a fucking assless, well, they're all assless, but chaps on.
Yeah.
And you're riding a bach. Yeah, I know. That's how you know you're from the Midwest. You don't call them assless chaps. We know.
They're just chaps with no
They're
underwear.
just chaps because it's kind of redundant. But yeah, no. But what I'm saying is like, it's this is the pendulum of the country, is that the religious right was so like condemning, like they have to keep blood out of games. Like I remember the first time I played Mortal Kombat on the Super Nintendo, I'm like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? With the sweat. Yeah. It's like, what? But I'm just saying, like we all pushed back against it, and there's this middle ground where we're like, okay, we don't know what anybody's doing. Should I vote Democrat or Republican? Now it's like not even a question if you have half a brain, like seriously. But back then it was like the Republicans were like so overwhelming, and nothing was fun. You couldn't do anything, like, but we didn't realize back then it was neocon Republicans. The Ron Pauls had not shown their faces. The Donald Trumps, the Viveks, you know what I mean? Like I know I'm going on a tangent here, but it's like everything was kind of like these very small peaks and valleys, and up until 2016, then it just went off the fucking hinges.
And you're absolutely right. And Wayne Rowe is making a great point here, because when you look at, you gotta look at things at a wider level. You gotta look at the macro as far as everything goes. And really the fact of the matter is that it is, in fact, I know, conspiracy theory time. Ooh, put it on the fucking metal cap. They're trying to push for true totalitarianism, communism. And communism, you got to get rid of religion, and the state itself becomes a religion. You worship the state and do whatever the state tells you. That is the way North Korea is right now. They actually believe Kim Jong-un is their fucking
supreme ruler.
Supreme ruler. Right. They believe they're actual deities. All right. And that's where they want to put. I know people will look at it and think, oh, that can't happen here. It is becoming that way more and more and more. If you look at these psychopaths, you look at the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence that they want to push at a fucking San Diego game. These people they're demonic, and they are completely reliant on being allowed by the government to keep doing what they want to do. The perpetual indulgence, that's a demonic thing on itself, and they're allowed to do it because the government will tell them you can keep doing whatever you want to do as long as you suckle at the government teat and do whatever we tell you. Then and my God, that I didn't mean to go down that fucking rabbit hole. What the fuck?
Sorry, but I'll cap it with either you're married, either you worship God, you're married to your wife, or you are married, or you worship the state. All right. There is a hole in all of our souls, and if you fill it with the state, you are part of the problem. And if you're part of the problem, you need to get your shit together. Get your shit together, people. So
I think that's a good way to cap the entire conversation of the night.
God bless everybody, including Adam and everybody in the chat that has served our country. I really do hold you in high regard. Like the stupid bullshit I do every day, where I get to grill burgers and hot dogs and stream and just talk shit on stream. Anything. If I get to play video games and I have like shitty takes about the prequels of the Star Wars, which they're not shitty, but anyways, that's a whole other thing. I appreciate, because I know there's no reprisal for what I say. And there are 330 million people in this country that enjoy that, and the other 7 billion don't. So I appreciate it. God bless you all.
I appreciate the fuck out of that, man. Absolutely appreciate the fuck out of that. I'm sorry, guys. I know there was a lot of chats. I was lingering on a lot of these chats. I wanted to go back and say comment on. I apologize for not, but the conversation was fucking great tonight. Even after Drew left, just having the two of us here, man. I love when these kind of shows go on, man. We hit on one single fucking topic, and I wasn't even going to go to that, that fucking totalitarian fascist fucking British cop who wants to threaten to arrest Americans over our keyboard warrior ways. And I'm going to sit here and very proudly say, come and fucking take it, motherfucker. And obviously by that I mean, take my fucking freedom. And I'm not making a threat. It's making a promise. You guys, thank you guys so much. Mo Zamboni, I've got to get your video. I've got to get your channel links and everything in there. But I know you are host of the GCA. Where can everybody find you?
We are on youtube.com/@the-GCA podcast because the URLs are fucking like gay as shit. If you don't get it right out of the gate, then they make it really hard. But I do that. I do some other channels, so just pay attention to my ex. I like to meme and make fun of people. I especially going hard on weak men, so you'll enjoy it if you like me dunking on weak pretenders like the Krasensteins. So
I approve of this.
Yes. No, the only way to change the culture, the only way to move the cultural shift is to make fun of the losers. And
damn right.
They are the losers.
One of the losers out there is the loser who tried to kill Trump, and we didn't even get into it. It's like right in here, you even see the route that we were going to talk about how he got up on the roof and the route that he took. I apologize we didn't get around to it. I really didn't want to change the vibe of the show, though. I love the way the show went, and I will never sacrifice. If a show is going well, I will never sacrifice that. But we will get into this. Maybe I'll do a pre-record video, but if nothing else, guys, please do actually go to the video description below. There are 2 videos out there where this gives a great description, and they show video drone footage of somebody who flew exactly where this fucker got up on the roof, and you will see exactly that this is how it actually happened. It's not what people think. Forget all that ladder thing and everything else. Go check that out. I don't even I love that you guys want to come here. If you did come here for that, I apologize we didn't hit it, but you don't have to wait for me. If you want to, go click on those links, check it out for yourself, do your own research. It's a topic that's absolutely intriguing. We need to get to the bottom of it. Guys, thank you so much. I'm not going to close up just yet. I want to do one single final shot. And as I take this shot, I just want to give this last fucking message because we're in that political sphere right now.
Fuck Joe Biden. Damn right. Fucking prick.
Cheers, guys. Fuck Joe Biden.
Yeah. You can give your drivers those tips if they do a good job. So hopefully that motherfucker got all the tips.
If you get somebody like that in your Ring doorbell or something like that, fucking give them a big tip and show them the message and tell them why you're getting that tip. Fuck Joe Biden. Fuck that motherfucker. Love that shit. And fuck Kamala Harris, even though she will take it. Obviously, I don't mean literally because she is a fucking cum whore. Hopefully, I don't get banned for this like Steven Crowder did. Everyone out there, show some love and respect. I'm going to start having some clips ready. Show Steven Crowder, Louder with Crowder, and the Mug Club some love. I'm going to do a show at some point. I've got to wait for funds to I'm waiting for YouTube payday again. I used up all my funds from the Wisconsin trip, and I haven't been refunded yet. But I'm going to do an event where we're going to do something. I'm going to gifting a Mug Club membership. I have no connection to them in any way, shape, or form, but I'm supporting them because of what they're doing. They're dumping millions of dollars into their election day show where they're actually going to do what Fox News and CNN does. They're going to have reporting on the ground. They're going to have everything tabulated. They're going to have a board. They got an app ready. It is going to be the best way to watch the election day event on November 5th and likely into the 6th and maybe even beyond that. But we're going to live stream here. I'm going to do an event here on November 5th. I'm going to do drinking game rules or probably do the same drinking game rules that they're doing over there. I am just asking, please show them some love. If you can't afford, you don't want to do a Mug Club membership with them, please support them at least on Rumble. You can also see them on YouTube at Steven Crowder, but watch them on Rumble because they do a YouTube dump button because they're not going to censor themselves. I hate that I have to censor us over here. If I could do a YouTube dump button, then I would. But show them some love over on Rumble. We're going to be live on November 5th on the election day. We're going to stream with Steven Crowder, not directly, because I want to get all the numbers from them. And biggest thing also, they have boots on the ground in every single fucking state in all the important areas. If a pipe bursts in fucking Georgia, or if a bunch of fucking ballots get brought in via fucking suitcases in Minnesota, they're going to have people on the ground, and we're going to be able to report that live here on Vets Talking via Steven Crowder. And like I said, at some point, we're going to do a sale. I'm going to fucking gift a membership of Mug Club out to you guys. Please do support them, because I think that they are like one of the most significant organizations out there that's helping our movement here in this realm of conservatism, MAGA. Let's get Trump in office, baby. We got less than 3 months to fucking go, so let's fucking do it. That being said, guys, Mozamboni, thank you so much for being here, man. Thank you. I love you, dude. Thank you to
Always
the one
a
and
pleasure.
only Drew Outstanding. Thank you to everyone out there. Thank you for the super chat, especially Blue Core Devil out there. I know there's more super chats, but I love Blue Core Devil. You are such a huge fucking supporter of the show. I can't thank you enough. All the people who have been chopping chats and the lurkers in behind. I know I'm fumbling over all my words.
No.
Words
I
are
was
hard.
laughing at Peter Santos. He leaned into it. He said, Porto Roxanne.
Roxanne.
You don't have to put on the red light.
You don't have to put on the rucksack. Guys, thank you so much. Been a great conversation. Been a great night. I appreciate the fuck out of every single one of you. As always, double tap that like and subscribe and share us out there with everybody. You don't gotta be a veteran to be here. Just don't get butthurt. You've been warned.